I know, my nose itchy.
That's such a great way to start the stream.
I know,
Congratulations, Tifa. I asked her who starts the stream. She goes, I'll do it. I'm like, okay, I'm about to press the button. You're gonna start the stream. So I'm expecting her to have something worthy of opening up the stream. And she goes,
I was actually gonna start with saying just hi to everyone, but then my nose got distracted.
all right, everybody, look away.
Happy Sunday, Dark Lord. Congratulations on being second.
I need to interrupt. Did you notice that
Maybe not.
happy? That was because her brain was buffering, loading up the business day, the work day, the weekday. That's what I was looking for. See, when my brain is buffering, I just say all the words or none at all. And Tifa goes happy. It sounded kind of funny the way you did it. Like
It's
the pitch went higher and higher. Welcome in, Dark Lord. Congrats on being second. Hello, Cowgirl Casanova. How are you doing? Happy New Year. Hello, Psycho. Congrats on being here, and thank you for 20 months. That's a year and a half and 2 months.
That you'll never get back. Just like your channel points. Appreciate it though.
Love.
Love.
No. You are busy making fun of somebody's pain.
Oh, I just thought it was a really funny comment.
It's the price of gambling. But you know the biggest problem with people who gamble? Most of them, 99% of people who gamble, stop just before they win big.
So next time, you're gonna win it all.
No.
I can't wait to play Mario Party again. I had fun. Maybe next week.
I hate gambling. I recommend nobody ever starts gambling. If you do, never bet more than you are comfortable losing, because learn from Psycho's pain, I guess. That's gambling. Oh man. Dark Lord, welcome in. Happy Sunday. Thank you for the 20 stream streak.
I love a good gamble.
I haven't seen this Hinamizawa since last year. Wow. Have we?
I mean, technically, yes.
Yes, true. It's been a week. It's been last year. Yes.
Yeah.
It's still so weird for me. I get so confused between Christmas and like March. It just doesn't feel like a new year yet.
I mean, that is fair. I'm kind of sad because I feel like the new year will sort of starting tomorrow. Because tomorrow is when people's vacations end, they come back to work. And especially for those that didn't have a vacation.
Like you.
Like me, where it was just really quiet at work. Now it's gonna pick up.
It's gonna be normal again, as in normal amounts of people around and like businessy stuff.
Like this is the week, the first full week after the New Year's is where things start again.
It's disgusting. I hate the feeling.
It really is.
It's like the Sunday blues, but times a million. It's like, yeah, tomorrow I'll actually go back to like work. I mean, I've been working for the last couple days, but still.
Yeah, but
it's not good.
I feel like up until today, you could still slack a bit.
I don't. I don't know how that works at your place, but it will be very noticeable when I slack.
Well, with a lot of the things that currently needs doing, I need other people who all aren't there, so... It's more a time of where you can focus on the things you usually don't get to do for yourself.
Yeah, that's kind of like... Depending on how you want to look at it, I guess, the blessing and the curse of like office work. Like the way we do it, which is like project-oriented usually. It's like, well, I really need to do a thing, but my next big meeting that I really like need to get things going is in like 3 weeks. So now I'm preparing for that meeting, but only after that meeting has happened can I really like get into gear in a way. And
that's how it is.
It feels weird.
It is how it is.
Yeah. Talking about weird things before Tifa continues, because she's been brainwashed. Tifa has changed today. Dramatically. Didn't expect it, but it did happen. Oyashiro-sama's curse strikes us still. The mysterious clicking noise has
Yes,
moved
he is
in the
still
room.
obsessed about
Yes,
the mysterious
I will
ticking noise.
never not be obsessed. And I
No,
think,
he does not stop every day.
and I think I finally figured out why it's only happening this winter. Because earlier this year, they did some work on the pipes in the basement. The last couple of years, we lived here, we've been streaming, and we never had this. They must have replaced something, and it's making this sound. And now it's closer to our feet. Last year, it was over at the wall. And it's so weird. I wish I could do anything about it. But maybe I shouldn't have spent all my money on katanas and instead build us a studio to stream from.
Is this the last time we're gonna mention the pipes now, though?
No.
Or is this gonna be a daily streaming topic?
This is the I'm warm of winter. Yeah. And it's gonna keep happening. I mean, you can hear it sometimes.
I just want to make sure we're all prepared for...
I'll try to keep the updates short. If floor's haunted, yes, very much so. And I hate it. Anywhere else in the apartment, I could live with it. Here, it's just like, oh well.
Also, I'm sounding so mean because it's kind of becoming an obsession for him.
I'm not obsessed. It's doing it to me.
I'm not obsessed with the pipes. The pipes are obsessed with me.
Yes.
I only spent half of the day under the desk trying to put blankets on it.
Yes. Yes, I didn't choose this life. This life chose me. That's how it works.
I'm saying all of this because I'm starting to become worried for his mental health at this point.
At this point, you're about 35 years late. But thank you. I do appreciate that. It's very sweet of you. Meanwhile, welcome in Gaming Check. Happy New Year.
How are you doing?
Happy Sunday. Only now, yeah. Anyway, Tifa, what has changed you as a person today?
I don't feel like it changed me as a person. You saying I'm brainwashed. Regardless, I actually went to the cinema today.
Not with me.
With a colleague. And we went to watch Wicked. Which was...
Which?
Wicked,
which?
Which was actually really good.
To
the point where I came home and I wanted to watch it again.
It was so good. In fact, I picked up Tifa on her way home. We went for a little walk and caught some Pokemon in Pokemon Go. And she was like, man, that movie was so good. If it was out already, I would now go home and watch it again. And I don't think that's ever happened before. I don't think you've ever watched a movie where afterwards you were like, I know I want to watch it again. Immediately.
Yeah, this one I can just go replay.
I have not seen it. I'm not a cinema person. Tifa went without me. But I don't think I've ever seen a movie that left me like this. No.
There are movies that I can watch again. But now I actually really felt like just pressing play again.
I've only seen movies that I never want to again watch in my life. I've never seen one where I went like, yeah, put it back on repeat, rewind the tape, play it again. I can think of three movies. The first one...
I also felt like that with the Sonic movies, to be fair.
You didn't say it back then, though.
No, but I did watch the movie again the next day.
Without me? What? Why would you Sonic... I thought you hate hedgehogs.
The live actions are really good.
You avoid playing Sonic games with me on stream.
Yeah.
You specifically planned a business trip so you wouldn't be around for Sonic Adventure.
I'll stick to you.
And here she is secretly Sonic's biggest fan. Wow. Wow.
No, but seriously, the movie Wicked was actually really good. I didn't have a lot of hopes for it. Like I've seen I've seen some movies based on The Wizard of Oz. And I never hated them, but it was always like, yeah, okay.
I never liked a single one I watched because I also don't care for The Wizard of Oz or that whole cinematic universe. It just never did anything to me.
I never really cared either, but it's also not like I'm turning it off while I'm watching it.
I do.
I mean, fair enough. But like with Wicked.
For some reason I found it really boring. I don't know why.
Yeah, it actually all really worked.
Okay. Maybe I will enjoy that one when I get to see it.
I can't wait to watch it with you. Like, I didn't have a lot of hope. I don't have anything against Ariana Grande, but I'm also not a fan of her. I didn't know...
I have her hairstyle.
You, a bit?
Not really. I know there's a difference, but still.
I didn't know anything about her counter...
Part?
Co-star.
The other actors and actresses in the movie.
I actually forgot her name. I just read about it.
Up. Wicked stars.
Cynthia. But she was absolutely brilliant. So were the rest in there, to be fair. I would absolutely recommend watching it. It was really funny. Yes, thank you, Dark Lord. It was really funny.
That one.
The songs were amazing. Those two have a very different singing voice. But when they sing together, it's like harmony. It worked so well.
Were they defying gravity?
I cried.
Was one of them going to
it was so nice.
Be popular? That's the two songs
I didn't even know that song
Wicked.
Was in there.
You're gonna be
popular.
You can tell how great we are at singing together because we completely missed the mark on singing that together.
No, but Wicked was really good. I absolutely recommend watching it. I enjoyed it. I also love musicals. You gotta like musicals.
Now the turnips are ready. Welcome in, Ranger. Happy New Year, happy Sunday. How are you doing?
Everything he said.
And you still are a kobold. You always will be a true kobold. Even more kobold than Tifa, who is very kobold.
Has any of you seen Wicked?
And if so, how many times? You need to make up for me.
And I think it's not a spoiler. Wicked, it comes in 2 parts. First part...
People learned when they watched the movie.
Yeah, but the ending...
It's really funny to me.
Nice.
Because I remember when the movie launched in the US, it debuted there a few days, a week or so I think, earlier. Before 2 weeks before over here in Germany. And then I remember seeing on Reddit people like, oh my god, there's gonna be a part 2. I don't know why you wouldn't put that in the press run, in the advertisements for the movie. Like, I've never gone to see a movie where I didn't know there was gonna be a part 2. I don't know, I guess it was expected. I don't know. I remember people getting really mad when Peter Jackson made 3 instead of 2 Hobbit movies. I guess that's why they didn't say it before.
I did enjoy the movie.
No, once you bought the ticket, they have your money.
Well, I knew with Wicked now regardless, but I'm really looking forward to the second one. It had a really good ending. Like the first half an hour was just like...
Wicked!
So nice.
Witches! Singing!
Yes.
Somebody popular!
There's a lot of singing.
Something seems to be stuck under my cup because every time I lift it from the coaster comes along so far. Which is annoying because if it hits the keyboard in the wrong way, it's gonna turn off the stream and...
You want this coaster?
No. I want that one.
Take this one then.
The unused one.
Wait, has anyone actually seen it?
No, because Ranger is too busy watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I'm with you, Dark Lord. I'm sorry to hear that.
Why can I imagine you're still watching that on a weekly basis?
Out of love for Ranger, because I have no love for the DC cinematic universe, I watched the Zack Snyder Justice League.
I remember, I think it was Netflix posting a statement, I think it was like a couple years ago already, that there was someone who has seen Lord of the Rings like 900 times in a year already, and that they worried for that.
Are you okay? Yeah. No, it was a Christmas movie. I think
it was Lord of the Rings. Huh. And that is absolutely Ranger with Justice League.
I truly believe that at any given time, when you get to Ranger's home, there is at least one screen anywhere in the house that is playing Zack Snyder's Justice League. At any given time. Just saying. I actually started off the year with Saving Private Ryan. Okay.
Okay, a classic.
Not what I would want to start the year off with, but it's not a bad movie. I get it. Bought on 4K Blu-ray.
It wasn't even that bad, to be fair, the movie. I gotta say.
Zack Snyder's Justice League?
Yeah. We watched like the 3-hour version, didn't we?
The 4-hour version. Yes, we did. In cinematic masterpiece 4x3 with black and white scenes with, I believe, 14 minutes of the Amazons going oh, la, 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 while carrying around an arrow. Like, yes, Psycho, I'm not joking. I'm pretty sure it's still on Netflix or somewhere on one of those streaming services. Please, if you have about 4 hours and you don't know what else to do with your life, or you have already seen every other comic book movie, and are you really a fan of DC and you like movies that I think are horrible, watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. It is dramatically better than the original release of Justice League, because Justice League is horrible. Zack Snyder's Justice League is better, but it's still not good. Sorry. That's why we need Ranger to watch it instead of me, so that it can still get enough airtime.
I think we already covered your part.
Yeah. But yes, Zack Snyder's Justice League is also presented in 4:3, old TV ratio, because, I don't know, that was the vision of Zack Snyder. Which, I respect that, but I don't know, it looks weird. I didn't want black bars on my screen on the side. It's not necessary.
Just tape off the TV so you don't see it.
Yeah, just pretend I'm 5 years old again and I sit in front of a... What's it called? CTR, CRT? One of those old TVs with the scan lines and stuff. Yeah. Thanks, Ranger. Now you reminded me of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Well, there's that. I didn't think it was that bad.
What was your favorite part of the movie?
I just remember it not being that bad.
So, what was your least favorite part of the movie?
The time.
What time?
Of the length of the movie.
That was your favorite part?
You asked for my least favorite part. Oh. No, I don't remember the movie even. The moment I see it, I will. But when I think back of watching it, it wasn't that bad. There are movies where I think like, oh shit, that was bad. That I don't even remember.
Yes.
Like I remember watching The Green Lantern.
What was that movie we watched? With the guy and the angel and the devil. Crap, what's... we watched it on Amazon Prime, I think.
The guy with the angel and the devil. Movie or series?
A movie. Not Lucifer, the series. Everybody knows about that one.
Constantine?
Constantine is a good movie. And I remember movies with Keanu Reeves.
Ghost Rider?
No. It has the guy in it who was also in Spartacus.
Shit! I know which one you mean.
Wait, Spartacus, Cast...
Oh fuck, what was it called? That was the worst movie I think we watched last year.
One of the worst movies we've watched in a long time. It was just bad.
No, I know exactly what he means now.
It has the guy in it. Yeah, trust me.
Amazon Prime.
The moment I find him. Peter Mensa. That's him. Peter Mensa. Movies. The movie is called The Devil Conspiracy.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, The Devil Conspiracy. That was some of the worst stuff of last year.
Cowgirl, what are you speechless about? The Devil Conspiracy with Peter Mensa, I think I just said.
It looked so cool though. Like the cover looked really cool.
The poster shot of a poster artwork is him in like full golden armor with a halo thing like on his head, and it looks cool. And then I will read you the premise. So the biblical Lucifer has been vanquished to hell by the archangel Michael. Okay, and now a weird cult is trying to bring Lucifer back to Earth to bring about Armageddon. You know, the usual when the devil is involved. And this Peter Mensa guy is playing Michael. So you think, okay, so he's on the poster. This is gonna be just some stupid popcorn munching action flick, right? Unfortunately not. And he is not the main character in the movie.
That's what I was saying, the poster looks really cool, but the movie was just like...
Turns out the movie then follows this lady who goes to an art school and she goes to some sort of art installation, I think it was, where she meets a priest that she is friendly with, that has not been established at all why they know each other that well, but it's fine, that just exists. And then the evil cult kills the priest, and the priest in his dying wish summons Michael into his body. So instead of getting Peter Mensa as Michael kicking ass, you get the guy who's playing the priest playing Peter Mensa, channeling him, trying to kick ass. The movie has some really fun ideas to toy around with. Like they try to resurrect Jesus from DNA samples. That's just a plot device. And I'm thinking, that's not been done that many times. That could be really cool. But the movie is just meh. And Peter Mensa is not in it nearly enough. He has like 4 scenes. The intro, and then twice near the end. And that's it.
I want to say a little bit more, but the movie just wasn't any good.
Also, either they expect you to know like all of the biblical lore from the top of your head, because nothing ever gets established. Except for Michael killed / imprisoned Lucifer.
Well, some of the items that they show are explained what it is and what their importance is.
Yeah, but not the characters. Like, they go to hell and suddenly there's a bunch of people walking around. And then they just have a conversation with each other. Like, oh yeah, you are the lost people, blah blah blah. It's like, how do you know each other? Like, help me out here. Who is this?
Is it better or worse than Shark Side of the Moon? Ranger?
Worse.
There isn't a lot, to be fair, that has been created that is better than Shark Side of the Moon. Like, Shark Side of the Moon puts the bar, I want to say, like here.
Yeah, it's a really bad movie, but it's actually great.
And everything under it, especially if we compare like budgets. Shark Side of the Moon took
Had
like
no budget.
10,000?
Something like that.
I believe
50
they
grand?
made that with like $10,000, I believe. And for that, it is like up here. And the rest is like hanging around this area. If you haven't watched Shark Side of the Moon, you absolutely need to watch it. That movie was absolute gold.
Shark Side of the Moon had a budget of $10,000.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You can tell, but they used every cent of that 10 grand. Every single cent. It's amazing.
It was absolutely great.
So why is that what you think a popcorn flick is? Is it a German thing and too American to understand? I don't know, to me, like a movie where I eat a lot of popcorn, like I don't, because I don't like popcorn. Sorry, hot take. You know, just like I sit down and then I let the audio into my ears, and I let the picture into my eyes. And I'm sitting there like, okay, I just accept it. I don't need to think too deep. Stuff's happening on screen, I can hear things. And after 90 minutes, or an hour and a half, or that's the same thing, after like 2 hours to 90 minutes, I just get up and I walk out. And nothing's changed in my life, except I was entertained for a little bit of time.
Oh, speaking of popcorn, I completely forgot to tell you.
Here we
Do
go.
you want to guess the prices at the cinema for a medium drink and a medium popcorn? Which I didn't order, by the way, but still.
Medium drink and a medium popcorn?
Yeah, a combo.
Okay, we're talking rich people shit.
Yeah. Medium combo.
$13.50.
No, a bit more.
How much is a medium drink? How much is it in there?
Medium,
Half a liter?
Medium was 400 milliliters, I think.
30% of your median income. Yes, they do it like Finland, where if you get a fine, it's a percentage of your income, I believe. They do it like this in cinemas in Germany now too. This will be 30% of your monthly.
You gotta go in with it, your last paycheck to confirm.
For 26, I think you're closer than I am. $14.99.
16.50.
What the fuck?
16 euros 50 for
Why?
one drink and one popcorn.
And medium being like the equivalent 2 mugs. after what she just described. It's
that.
It's what fits into 2 regular mugs. It wouldn't even be 2 of these. Because I think Americans, when they go to the cinema, their large is like 2 liters, something like that.
There's no way you'll get that here,
No.
but still. But I was so shocked. And they also had like bags of Skittles and Maltesers and stuff like that. That was like $4.90 for a normal package, which is usually like 2 something. But the popcorn and drink, like, I was like, do people actually do this?
You can tell how amazed Tifa is by the fact that you can barely hear Tifa's voice anymore because she's so imaginative.
No, but seriously, imagine you're going there with your family. And fun fact, I actually had this discussion with Jack a bit too. Like, he was complaining during the pandemic, like Disney Plus and other streaming services had this thing that instead of releasing a movie to the cinema, which wasn't possible, you could buy it, rent it for like $30 or so.
Yeah, Mulan
And
is
then
the one I
you-
remember.
I think that's the one they started it with, yeah. And then you could watch it for an unlimited amount of times for like 2 or 3 days or something. It was like time locked.
It's unlimited if it's 3 days.
For during that
Yeah,
time.
I get it.
And you were like, oh, this is shit, and who would do that? But if you think about it, that
Just
is
wait.
actually so much better. Because my boss said the same thing too, that he misses them doing that. And I was thinking like, oh, you said nobody wanted that. Because now he wants to go to the cinema with his kids and he needs to pay for his wife and the kids. And the kids
Why
might
does he need
take
to pay for his
popcorn.
wife?
I mean, he needs to pay for the family, which is 4 people. Then the kids want a drink, they want popcorn. And then in the end,
Yeah.
you pay for that movie like 6 times over.
Yeah.
And now that I saw those prices, I'm like,
That's one of the reasons why I don't like cinemas. Cinema to me is like all the worst things combined. I've had the displeasure of sitting in cinema theaters, I think you call the room you're in. Yeah, it's a theater, right?
Yeah.
I've been sitting in some that were entirely too loud. Like, not just movie cinema loud, but objectively too loud. I'm not being wimpy. Like, too loud. Which sucks. Then you have the great fun of sitting in a cinema, depending on the movie, with like Hollywood audio engineering. So the explosions are too loud and
the rest
the
is
lines
soft.
are too low volume. So I already need subtitles just to watch the movie, which is like, technically I don't. I could survive without them, but I'd rather watch this movie with subtitles because you're blowing away my eardrums. Then you got the fact that there's other people in there, which can be annoying depending on the people. I've had mixed experiences. But then last but not least, the prices. Like,
it's gotten much more. I remember one cinema visit being not more than €10 and you had one small size popcorn.
yeah, same. When I was a kid. That's when I
Normal-
enjoyed cinemas.
Normal cinema prices now are between like 16 and €20.
It's disgusting.
Or I'm looking at the wrong cinemas, but fortunately my colleague had coupons and we paid like $5 a ticket, which is
Then it's okay.
Which
and
is
it's
good.
cheap. Prices for concessions are insane. That's why my friend and I went and we bought our own candy and shared some popcorn and got 2 drinks. How much did you pay for the 2 drinks for? Because yes, I remember the last time I recall going to the cinema was for Detective Pikachu, which was an amazing, or still is an amazing movie. You should all watch it if you haven't. No, but
it was
before
so
that,
good. It's such a shame a second one doesn't seem to be coming.
no, it was Detective Pikachu we went to, and we went to the cinema.
We watched it with my little brother now. In the
Yeah, your
Netherlands.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember going there with you, your family.
Oh, and my mom, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I remember.
When it launched, a few days after, and we did get drinks and popcorn. I got some nachos.
A set of Pokemon cards.
I think we were 5 people. Yeah, 5 people. We spent $120 on the tickets and the concessions. And it's like, I mean, I did it because, now we had a fun day out, and then years later I can still argue about the prices for these things because that's disgusting. But I know these people need to live off of something too, and nobody wants cinemas. I mean, I don't care, but nobody wants cinemas to go away, just like malls dying. Because then that's yet another building that's just empty in the city or wherever. But like,
My biggest problem is, besides the price, I kind of do like going to the cinema. But there's not a lot of movies where I go like, oh, this I absolutely must watch in the cinema.
Sonic 3.
Sonic 3, I want to.
Yeah, same, and I hate cinemas.
But also to add some money into the box offices, because I do feel like they deserve it.
But we could just buy 2 Blu-ray 4K copies when it launches. And then the money doesn't go to the cinema, which scams you by making you pay $6 million for one popped corn, but it goes to the people who, it goes to the studio and then they distribute the money, I guess. Or maybe not, I don't know.
Well, regardless. But with a lot of the movies, like especially these sort of like dramas or slice of life, I see no need to watch them in the cinema. There's no special effects where you go like, well, I need to see this on a big screen, or sound effects where you go like...
Yeah, I think outside of the Sonic movies, the last time I would have wanted to go to the cinema was when the new Star Wars movies came out. Thankfully, I didn't, because I would have hated that. I'm pretty sure if I had seen episode 7 in cinemas, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I would not be sitting here today. I think my life would have gone a completely different trajectory. I don't know if I could have handled that disappointment.
Yeah. When's Detective Pikachu?
That's
First
a
of
wonderful
all,
question.
That's a really good pun. Second of all, yes, I do not understand why there isn't a 2 yet. How? Why? The first one didn't even flop, did it? Like, I know they said years ago that there would be a 2, and then just like nothing happens. I remember reading an interview with the guy who played the main dude, I forgot his name, where he was like, okay, yeah, I'm just waiting for a call, but like nothing's coming.
According to a leak, there will be a second movie.
There will be a second one for years already.
Yeah, it's been soon 6 years. It will be 6 years this year.
That's what I mean. And it was such a good movie.
Yeah, I was shocked at how much I enjoyed it.
It was.
I didn't think I would.
Great, same.
Yeah. Defective picture. Oh no. Jack hates cinemas and Tifa hates hedgehogs, and they still want to see Sonic 3. Yes, because it has movie Sonic after Sega redid them. Kudos to that. I like the first one. I really like the second one. And it has Jim Carrey. And Jim Carrey is a kind of person where I go, I would be willing to sit in the cinema for you.
Even if the movie seems shit. If he goes like, hey, I need you to watch this, I'll be like, okay.
Even if he doesn't say that, just, Jim Carrey goes, hey, I made a movie, it's in the cinemas, I'll go to the cinema. I really like this person. It's
kind of funny because I remember Jim Carrey saying he always hated sequels. And never wanted to do sequels.
And he also retired from acting. But he said back then too, if you give me a good enough script, I'll come back. And he did for Sonic 3, and he already said he would consider it for Sonic 4 as well. And I hope there will be a 4, a 5, a 6, however many it takes, because Sonic is a franchise you can keep on going indefinitely. As long as they're good, I'll keep watching them.
I think I saw a video last week where someone said the same, like, hey, why are you returning? I thought you retired. He's like, yeah, well,
I bought a lot of stuff and it was expensive, yeah.
I need the money. I'm like, yeah, that's fair.
And then people are like, oh my god,
that's fair.
Jim Carrey is so selfish, he's working for money. And I read those comments like, yeah, I mean, same. Like,
I'm not working for fun. Trust me.
I mean, he can choose what he wants to do. I'm pretty sure nobody forced him at gunpoint to make Sonic 3, but I'm happy he did. He is the best version of Eggman I could ever have thought of in a real-life scenario.
Yeah.
Cowgirl just shut down yet another Luke Bryan impersonator. I don't know who that is.
Luke Bryan.
Pays to be a law student. Was never able to finish, of course, but I still have what I learned during my short time in law school. Who is Luke Bryan? Sounds like a Tekken character to me.
American singer and songwriter. Doesn't ring a bell.
Nope.
But isn't impersonators like a big thing?
I don't think it's like a...
not like an act, but more like a
scam
identity
kind of thing.
theft.
Yeah, I don't think Cowgirl Casanova would go around and tell people, no, you can't do cover songs of this artist. I doubt it.
Sure. Makes sense. Makes sense. Will they get Danny DeVito to play Detective Pikachu's dad?
Why not? Why not? Maybe.
Fair.
I'm pretty sure Danny DeVito would be up for it.
I think he would be up for a lot of things. He also seems like you can convince him for some fun roles.
Danny DeVito seems like an actual like the list of people I would want to spend time with. Like from all of these like big wig celebrities. I think Danny DeVito is very high on that list. Up there with like Keanu Reeves.
I'm still waiting to see if he's gonna be
nice.
Recast for the Hercules live action. Is the cast already known for that?
I think he has been confirmed to be in it.
Really?
This is the last thing I'm gonna Google before I'm gonna make you do the recap, so get prepared.
Yeah, that's fine.
Danny DeVito, Hercules.
I think you gotta do live action. Or a remake.
Why is Disney remaking all of their movies as live action movies? I do not need that. Did anybody ask for that? Because I didn't.
I enjoy some of them. Oh, during one thing I missed while going to the cinema is somehow watching the trailers. I don't really watch trailers, but I love watching them in the cinema. There's been a lot of good movies coming. But the one I will refuse to watch is the Snow White remake. The whole thing they did with the dwarves, that is absolutely disgusting and I refuse to watch that. I will not add my view to that.
I cannot find out anything. Every single thing I click on seems like an AI written clickbait article. I guess it remains to be seen. Renewing trademarks. Couldn't you just re-release the movie you already have though? Is that not enough? Does it need to be like a new work with the same title?
Is it really to renew the trademarks? Won't the live action count as something new?
It's still The Lion King, it's still The Jungle Book.
I guess.
Just put in the public domain. But money! My shareholders! What will they pay their bills with? Why would they do a Minecraft movie live action? I don't know.
But seriously, the trailer for that looks so good.
What?
I don't even like Minecraft. What? It looks like so much fun. The movie doesn't take itself seriously.
It looks like horse shit.
Yes, exactly. And besides, it has Jack Black in it. I'll watch everything this dude is in. But it looks like so much fun.
Tifa, that's a hot take. I feel very warm suddenly.
I am going to watch that movie, and I might even consider watching it in the cinema.
I want to know how much they gave Jason Momoa to be in it. Because, I don't know.
This is the type of movie I would play in for free.
Why would you be that dumb? Why would you be dumb enough to go, hey, I wanna be in that thing that's gonna make you $1 billion. Can I do it for free? No.
As the voice actor of Astarion has said, Neil, I forgot his last name.
Neil Newbin, I think is how you pronounce his last name. Okay. When was the last time you used passion to pay our bills?
I mean, if I can afford it, yeah, but still.
Listen, if I'm ever... After I bought all the katanas in the world... after I made enough katana money... That's gonna be a thing from now on.
The katana is like our current apple for our thirst. That's a Dutch saying, isn't it?
You what, mate?
When you have an appeltje for the dorst. You have a apple for your thirst. It's like something you keep behind for when you need it later.
This explains so much and nothing at all. I need to speak to all of you directly. Ignore her for a moment. Have any of you ever at any point in your life thought, I'm really thirsty. The one thing I'm at home or I'm in a supermarket, wherever I can buy things that could quench my thirst, or I have them laying around. I'm so thirsty. I feel like I'm dying from being parched. The one thing that I need right now in this instance when I'm so thirsty is an apple.
It's a juicy apple.
Not water, not apple juice. An apple. An actual apple.
Yeah.
No.
You haven't had a good apple yet. I'm just saying.
No. The Rock would have been a better pick for Steve, and I hate The Rock. Maybe? I don't know. For me, it starts and ends at the fact that I don't think there needs to be a Minecraft movie.
It looks like so much fun.
No, not to me. To me, listen, I genuinely like Jack Black in movies. I don't know why he signed up for this. I don't know why Jason Momoa and all the others did. Emma Stone.
It's fun. Fun.
Yeah, or big paycheck. But I don't understand why somebody played Minecraft and thought, in this game where people spend so much time being creative with themselves or with others, the one thing I need from that is a movie.
Everything nowadays needs a movie.
When is the My Favorite Letters X movie coming out?
That's a good question.
We need to hurry up because I'm aging faster than Keanu Reeves, and if he plays me in 10 years, I will look older than him.
The biggest problem is, what would our script look like?
Who needs a script? Just put the camera on for 90 minutes and that will do whatever works for us. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen the trailer and I'm in the camp. I don't know.
The one trailer that really threw me off though was the one for the Robbie Williams story.
Oh, with a monkey, the chimp.
In the entire trailer, he's played by a chimp. And I know there was a chimpanzee that he had a really good bond with that died a few years ago.
I did not know that.
I'm guessing that is... Yeah, he was.
It's wild to me.
He was basically best friends with this chimpanzee that he used to visit a lot in a rescue, I think it was. Don't nail me down on the facts, but I do know he had a good relationship with a chimp that loved him.
No, you don't need to Google it.
So I'm guessing that is the connection with the chimp.
I don't know.
But in the trailer, and I didn't look it up yet, I forgot. I got triggered by the memory now. It looked like he was played as a chimpanzee in the entire movie. Is that the actual thing? The one where he's a chimp? Is he an actual chimp in the entire movie? And why would they do that?
I don't know. Because
that's the idea.
Why not? I don't know. Why is Mario okay with hanging out with Donkey Kong? He's a monkey. A big one.
Yeah, which is completely fine.
I want to say most of the people that for funsies just go on kart races with chimpanzees usually have issues. Like I mean,
it seems like quite fun, but
Michael Jackson wasn't the most well-adjusted person. Just saying.
He went a race with a monkey.
No, but he was hanging out. He hung out with a chimpanzee. Like I don't know. Usually, people that have these like.
Are you chimpist?
Apparently, yes. But people that have certain types of, I'm gonna say pets. Usually, there's something about them.
I don't see a documentary about Michael Jackson where he's played by a monkey. Maybe I need to read up on the story on why they did it. Like, is that the only connection I can think of is his friendship that he had with a chimp? But I don't really get why they have him played by one.
Maybe it
makes sense when you watch it.
Maybe it's a big brain strategy move, because if you just get a CGI monkey to play you, then you don't need to pay an actor.
I want to think
don't need to pay royalties if they don't see your face.
A CGI monkey seems more expensive, but...
Donkey Kong's an ape, he doesn't have a tail. That's where the difference comes from? Oh!
I thought Donkey Kong is a gorilla.
Yeah,
Does that fall under ape?
But gorillas are apes.
I don't know why, but I thought gorilla was its own thing.
Yes. Every gorilla is an ape, but not every ape is a gorilla.
Yeah, fair enough. Makes sense.
Oh, I always thought was it just words. I didn't realize the difference is the tail. It's weird what Donkey Kong does though. Diddy Kong. I don't know.
Not a gorilla.
Next stream, Tifa and Jack are gonna get replaced by monkeys. My favorite letter is banana.
It is really.
Maybe one day, who knows? What are you doing?
Checking if Diddy Kong is a gorilla.
Diddy Kong, Tifa.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to... Oh, I went to actual Diddy. Diddy Kong.
Yeah, it's showing her things that have nothing to do with the question.
It still says the same list of Donkey Kong characters.
Rare designer Kevin Bayless commented Diddy was penciled in as a spider monkey. Now we know. Thank you, Tifa.
You're welcome.
She Googles it and I get to read it out because she didn't read it out.
Yeah, because I was reading if I'm at the right spot.
You know what is the right spot? Tifa doing recaps. Tifa, what has happened the last time we played Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 4 Himatsubushi?
While I think about that sounds like cool headphones. That's actually really handy. The last time we swapped over to the view of the grandson that has been kidnapped, which was a big part of the last stream. He actually started to think of ways on how he could escape. He was held captive in what seemed... He was held captive in what seemed to be like a sort of shed. He didn't know yet because he was completely blindfolded and also had something stuffed in his mouth.
He's been gagged.
Some kind of BDSM ball, probably.
Why would... No, Tifa, no. Why would you say that?
Putting the atmosphere.
No, Tifa, no.
It was a ball, I think.
It wasn't?
No? Well,
no.
It doesn't matter.
And only Tifa would go out of her way to go, I need to kidnap somebody. Better get the BDSM gear ready.
It's the easiest to buy, isn't it?
I don't think Hinamizawa has a BDSM store.
In the manga, it's just tape.
And I'm pretty sure they said something similar in the game too. I think it was packing tape.
Regardless, he is...
Wrapped around him.
He is gagged and has blindfolded. So he doesn't really know where he is, but he did figure out he needs to escape. So he had surgery a while ago, which left a gnarly scar on his stomach. So he decided to make use of that and acted.
This was unrelated to anything that's happened in the story. He just happened to have an operation at some point in the not so distant past.
Basically. So he decided to make use of that point and started acting like he was in massive pain. And like moved it in such a way that the scar was visible so that the kidnappers would try to think like, oh, it has something to do with that, because the scar wasn't that old yet.
Yes.
It was like a few months ago, I think. So the kidnappers actually started believing it after realizing he was in massive pain. And
first they thought he had to poop. He was playing that role really well.
Oh, he also had his ears covered up. But he pretended he could still hear everything because it wasn't that closed off. But he pretended he could not hear anything they were saying.
Yes.
So after the kidnappers...
That's why he overheard things. That's part of why he decided to do this, to get out of this place.
So the kidnappers at some point started to get worried because, you know, a dead... kid isn't really gonna help your case. I was thinking of
what do you call these small humans?
I was thinking of what you call the kidnapped.
A kid. No. In this case, literally a child.
No, like a dead person hostage. A dead hostage isn't really worth that much. And they were told not to hurt the kid by any means. Hostage was the word I was looking for. So they called the doctor, which turned out to be Dr. Irie, who dropped by for a house visit, examined him, did some stuff, seemed to believe him, but also not really. Hard to say.
And we don't know what else happened because when the scene transferred back over to Akasaka, our regular main character,
Yeah,
who then,
was...
together with Ooishi, went into the lion's den after putting on some stab-proof vests. It was finally time to go to this...
Oh, yeah. No, sorry, I thought you jumped ahead.
Abandoned area near Hinamizawa, Akatsubo,
where the wallet was found.
Where the wallet was found. They get there, it starts raining, they get out of a car, they go to... on the way, they see a car approach, and it turns out that's Irie, the doctor, who has a short but friendly chat with Ooishi. Which is really weird, because this area is completely abandoned. Why would a doctor be driving out here in this street in that direction? That seems strange.
Not the weird thing though, but he gave himself away during that talk, which I think is important, because he said he was going for a house visit after receiving a call.
An emergency.
Didn't turn out to be as bad as they expected, but he said it was in village A.
Akatsubo.
I don't know which one he said. And after he left...
Akatsubo! Why can't I not say the other
was
words?
like, oh, that is weird, because if you would go to this city or to that place, you wouldn't take this road, but another road which is way further up there. So he lied about where he went. And here there's only abandoned places, like there's not really anywhere to take a house visit. And that's what set them off.
So they drove around a little bit further, they found a place where there was a car in front of it, which was weird, because where would there be cars in front of abandoned buildings?
That was not an abandoned building, that was a storage house used by...
In an abandoned, desolate area, therefore presumed to be abandoned as well, but yes, it was technically a tool shed of the forestry services. But there was a car in front of it, which is weird for an abandoned area.
Yeah, but I mean, that wasn't an abandoned house. That house was actually in use, is what I'm saying.
Recap done. Stop arguing.
Yeah, but you're doing the recap wrong.
I don't hear you recapping.
Yeah, so they went to knock on the door. Nobody opened at first until one of the two kidnappers did. The other one took the kids and went out on the back door. So Ishii had a little chat with him on what he's doing there and that no one should be here.
I don't know what it is with you today, but I absolutely hate your recap.
Well, then continue.
I hate everything about it.
We're almost at the end anyway.
I thought it was like 6 lines, and you've been talking for, I think, like 14
hours. That's how I usually feel with you.
They go knock at the door. After a short exchange, one
Only
of them...
Ooishi does.
You wanna do it?
No, I'm just saying it's important for what comes.
Let's talk about monkeys again. No, let's get the recap over with. After a short exchange, one of the kidnappers grabs the kid, bolts out through the back door. Ooishi fights his way into the place, realizes what's happening, gets stuck in a fight with one of them, which may or may not have involved the kidnapper to take off his pants. That's how I was reading it back then. And seemingly, in the end, choking out Ooishi after an intense fight. Meanwhile, Akasaka is fighting the other guy / running after him, who is piggybacking the kid somehow over his shoulder. Piggyback, we don't know. He's carrying the kid. Eventually, he drops the kid because he stumbles. They have a fight. Long story short, everything goes wrong because the kidnapper that is with Akasaka suddenly pulls a gun. And then the other kidnapper, who apparently beat Ooishi into submission, also shows up. So now Akasaka is there with the kid cowering behind him at gunpoint. And if you play the console version or with 07 mod, which is what we're using, you can choose to get the option to either beg for your life or to wait for an opening. Waiting for an opening is the wrong choice. The right choice is to beg for your life. So that's what Akasaka does. He suddenly switches character completely, goes, oh my god, no, please don't do it, I have a wife. He begs and begs and stalls long enough for Ooishi to come back, because somehow Akasaka could see him in the back. And Ooishi comes and saves the day. Both the kidnappers run away after Akasaka gets shot in the shoulder.
Yes.
Yeah, they got
both
away.
Both of them get away.
Akasaka gets shot in the shoulder. The kidnappers are gone. And the scene we were in ended with Akasaka passing out. Because blood loss, concussion from getting hit in the head over and over during the fight, stress, adrenaline wearing off, all of these things.
Yeah. And I think we actually finished a chapter there, if I recall correctly.
We're about to find out.
I believe we're at the start of a new chapter.
I hate it when you do a Jack-style recap when I thought all that was necessary was a Tifa-style recap. It's such a weird feeling. Such a weird feeling.
Now I'm finally trying to put all of those annoying details in that I would usually skip. And then you go like, oh no, just get to the point.
Yeah, no, why? Today that didn't work for me. I don't know what it was. I blame her. It's easier that way.
Yeah, we definitely did this.
True, and we did get the tip. A very kind.
Yeah.
We also got a tip, a very kind person, which was about Yukie talking about how much she loves her husband.
Yeah, because for once you were like, oh, I want to go to bed, and I was like, oh no, let's finish this.
Yeah, because I had to go into the office the next day.
Yeah, you hear that? If he goes to the office, he wants to end stream on time, but only when he goes to the office.
Tifa, let's compromise. No, give me your hand.
I need to know the compromise.
Give me your hand. So the compromise is only long streams from now on. And Tifa shook my hand, so it's a deal.
No, I didn't agree to that yet.
Welcome to episode 5. You ready?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great stream, I can tell you. The energy levels completely align. It's gonna be mwah. That was my first time losing consciousness. You often hear of regaining consciousness on top of a bed, but this was my first time actually experiencing it.
Look who's back.
The young doctor. Hello? Are you okay? Realizing that I was awake, a young doctor called out to me. I didn't intend to respond, but it seems my body language had told him I was conscious. My head was wrapped in bandages. The scratches all over my body had also been treated. My sense of pain also returned with my consciousness, causing me to groan from the intense pain shooting all throughout me. Why didn't they give him more painkillers? But again, when he's passed out or sleeping, there's no need for extra painkillers, right?
Well, right now, obviously, Irie is also part of this evil group.
How?
He went to a kidnapped kid.
Okay, here come Tifa with the hot takes. Yeah, go on.
He went on a house visit where he saw something was obviously wrong and didn't report it. Plus, he's in with the Sonozakis.
Yeah. Carry on.
What more do I need to say?
So, Tifa, what exactly would you have done in his situation?
He could report it.
Okay. And then what?
Ooishi was literally right there.
And then what?
Have them go there?
Then Irie is dead the next day. Because he betrayed the Sonozakis.
Then he would be dead the next day now too, because the cops were there at the door anyway, but they could have made it safer.
I don't blame Irie for not doing more for Toshiki Inukai, because he was literally standing between the guys who had guns.
I'm not saying he should have grabbed the kid and run out.
And if he is seen talking to Ooishi and then they immediately go to the right house.
Which is exactly what happened now too.
Yeah, but now he isn't lying when he says, I didn't tell them.
Oh, he's not lying. Oh, that's the worst thing.
Tifa is so naive and innocent. You would go into an area entirely controlled by these super evil thugs and you would go, Police Officer Kun, it's over here.
I want to believe I would do the right thing, yes.
You have, I believe, a very right intention, but doing it that way gets you killed, gets your family killed.
He could have said something when he came across.
He did say something.
Nothing about... Well, the question is, now that you mentioned the say something, you might actually prove me wrong here. Because if he also grew up there, he would know that he was on the wrong road. So did he say that on purpose to tip off Ooishi?
Nobody leaves Hinamizawa, so yes, he has grown up here. Nobody leaves Hinamizawa.
No, the thing is, did he say what he said on purpose to to tip off Ooishi? Because Ooishi would also know that he's on the wrong road.
Yes.
Like, depending on the answer of that will be...
He even told them he was doing a house visit.
Yeah, there are still a few houses.
There are no houses. This entire area is abandoned.
Not 100%.
Apparently Tifa has written the story of Higurashi and knows better than the author.
I'm just saying, it's gonna depend on whether he gave the wrong information to Ooishi on purpose or not.
I take it as Irie told him as much as he feasibly could without putting himself or his loved ones into danger. Which, it would have been nice if he did more for the kid, yes, I guess. But...
Yeah, but that depends on did he give that information on purpose, yes or no. Otherwise, he did nothing for the kid. And not all he feasibly could.
After all we know about Irie, I don't think he does anything just accidentally.
Do I understand people would not act in a situation like this because they're afraid? Yes, I absolutely do. But that doesn't make him he did everything he could.
If you are on Team Jack, you believe Irie did what he could. If you're on Team Tifa, well, you're wrong. Welcome in, Mommy. Happy Sunday. How are you doing? Is this that one TV series that started in 2017 and last May, The Young Doctor? No, this is Young Sheldon. He is about to bazinga all of us.
So yeah, I will not call him evil yet. That is fair. I will scratch off that. But he's also not innocent.
Nobody's innocent in Hinamizawa.
Yeah, well,
I love this. What does Higurashi when they cry? How? Thank you, Psycho, for telling Mommy, who, dang it, I wanted to take revenge on Jack for clowning on my spelling mistakes. The how part also confuses me, because I don't think most people who know about Higurashi refer to these parts as how. I've only ever heard or read them or seen them referred to as Higurashi when they cry, or by the chapter name, but not like this. Don't know why we did that. Confused me. Exactly, that confused the hell out of me. I think in the lead up to streaming these games, I asked like 3 or 4 times in Discord, like people who know the series, like, so which one do I buy? Do I buy How? Do I buy How Plus? Like, why is there 12 different Higurashis on Steam? Which one is the correct one? Thankfully, people like Psycho helped out with that, and now we get to enjoy it. Don't try to get up, just stay lying down, please. It seems that you took quite a few blows to the head. I want you to stay rested so we can monitor your condition for at least the next 24 hours. Where is this? This is my clinic. I'm pleased to meet you. My name is Irie. Do you think Akasaka looks younger or older than he is?
Hard to say. They both look in their 20s.
Because he can't look too young, because Irie didn't do the "you've got soft skin" yet.
He doesn't look like he's 8.
Oh, true, I thought Irie is really disgusting. I forgot that Irie is really disgusting. He only does it to very young people because he's quirky. I remembered that this young doctor was the one in the car headed the opposite way earlier. Is there somebody here? Where's ooishi-san? No, I'll call him over. There's no smoking inside the clinic, so I had him smoke outside. Dr. Irie left the room to go call Ooishi.
Excuse me? I remember smoking rooms in a hospital.
Not in Japan. Not in the Irie clinic. Also, true, I think some hospitals still have smoking rooms.
I don't think they still do.
Especially
not in a hospital at this time.
I distinctively remember the first time I was like 6 or 7, I forgot, I think it was 6, going to a hospital to visit somebody, and we had to go like all the way through the hospital, and we got past a smoking room, and it was in the cancer ward. Like all the people who were in this area had cancer.
Yeah, but back then smoking didn't cause cancer yet.
It did, and we already knew that in the 90s in Germany. My dad explained it to me like this. Well, some people choose to keep smoking anyway, because that's now the least of their issues. I remember that distinctively. So we've had them, and I think we still have them.
Nah, you definitely won't have them. Anymore, that is. No way.
I don't know. Smoke in the smoking room, get treatment right away. Yeah, it's... right?
Gotta get yourself up that priority list.
With how like organ donorship and stuff like that works, and you having to be high enough on the list to get a transplant, I wouldn't be shocked if some people do that. To go like, well...
No, because that actually ruins your chances. If you do anything to jeopardize yourself on the list, like for example start drinking or something, you get put down at the bottom.
Okay, I guess I appreciate that, because self-destructive behavior is not what you want to encourage. But can we always find out?
I remember that from a episode of The Good Doctor.
I don't recall that, but I guess I get it. Makes sense to me.
Which, from what if I recall correctly, read about, is actually a thing.
The scenery outside the window was tinted with gold. The pouring rain had stopped, with the voices of Higurashi heralding the cooling temperature. I felt that the tone of Higurashi's voices was comforting. Eventually I could hear heavy footsteps coming closer, which I reckoned to be Oishi's. No, it's oyashiro-sama in our floorboards. There it was again. The fog that was enveloping my head slowly faded back to reality. What had happened since then? What had happened to the boy? What about the reinforcements from Tokyo? The door to the room flew open, allowing Dr. Irie and Oishi to enter. So there's no serious damage, is there? I can't promise that. I assessed the wound to his head was dangerous the moment I saw it.
Shouldn't this be discussed with us first?
Got it. I want to have a little chat with I want to have a little chat alone with him for a bit. Would you mind? Yeah, but like... they know each other. So... But yeah, you would think as the patient you get to hear the news of your condition first. At least that's what I would hope is the case.
Well, to be fair, we also just woke up.
Yeah, but still, I would expect it to be something like, hey, doctor, the patient has woken up, can you have a chat with him? And then they go, hey, this might come as a surprise, but you've been in a coma for the last 9 years. Imagine if suddenly there's a freaking time skip like that.
That would suck.
It'd be messed up.
How you react to that?
For the redeem cowgirl, Tifa, sit like a human.
Sitting super straight. Thank you.
I'm helping her. Yeah, go ahead and call me if anything happens. Oishi, after basically forcing Dr. Irie outside, shut the door. How are you feeling? I did something I'm not used to, so I'm pretty banged up all over. She brought over a folding chair that was leaning against the wall and sat down beside the bed. Were the perpetrators arrested? Unfortunately, no. They've probably already fled the prefecture or being hidden by the villagers. Well, we won't let them get away.
Both of you sit like legends, as we always do, and hydrate yourselves, no?
That's
the hydrate
not what that redeem is for.
Is for you, so I hope you read the fine print.
Yes, it's basically you flexing that you're drinking. Read
Cheers.
the fine print. Legally, you have to drink something. No? That's just how that works. Otherwise, the Twitch police is gonna go pick you up. What about the minister's grandson? I'm taking care of him at the station. But your colleagues in Tokyo are rather insistent that nothing can be recorded. Shige-chan doesn't like that too much. The kidnapping was a confidential matter, so his custody was also probably being kept under wraps. How the kidnapping of a minister's grandson would be handled, how it would be covered up, treated like it never happened, would be handled by the brass.
Now he's gonna get fired from his job or suspended because he let the kid go into the police station. Now others know about it. You know, he wasn't even allowed to tell Ooishi about this. He just did because he basically guessed it.
Like, mission failed successfully. The kid is safe, but not in the way we wanted it to happen, so...
Should have saved him yourself, alone.
Yeah. Shouldn't have gotten shot.
And then put him in a bag and transport him without anyone seeing him.
Even without the kid realizing.
Or that would be even best. Like, you did not get kidnapped.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se. If this case ended without the nation going into an uproar about it, then our job had been done. The possibility that the minister had negotiated with the perpetrators couldn't be ruled out. But something like that was no longer my concern. My role in this case was over. Sorry for the trouble. You must think that public safety is a rather unseemly place, don't you? No. We all work on the government's dime. Or she laughed boisterously. When we first met, I was somewhat prejudiced against Ooishi, but now that feeling was gone completely. The more I see of him, the more prejudiced I get. It would be more convenient for us if his case was handled properly instead of being hidden away. If that happened, we would be able to have something to go at the Sonozaki family with since they were behind it all. Well, if we just start poking around, we'll get all sorts of pressure put on us, though. What a mess. Are you going to continue the fight against the Sonozaki family after this?
What you gonna do? Just stop it?
Yeah. I mean, so, move a little bit to the left. How big does your enemy need to be before you go, yeah, you know what? I'm good. I really hope in a way that by the end of Higurashi, Ooishi gets to nail the Sonozaki group, family, whatever you want to call them. Because with all they're doing, most of them deserve to be behind bars.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think that is what will happen.
I would like it though. Nah. There's all sorts of dark rumors swirling around them, but it's not like I have a personal grudge. It'd be wise to not step on any toes here. She laughed happily and I couldn't help but laugh along. Oh, that's right. There was a word at the station from the prefectural police. Your colleagues arrived at Nagoya and are driving up here right now. You've got your battle scars, so you're being recalled to Tokyo apparently. That's how it's shaking up. Good job. Your work in Okinomiya is safely over. I was being recalled to Tokyo. I inadvertently breathed a sigh of relief when I heard those words. I'm deeply thankful for your cooperation, Ooishi-san. It seems the collaboration fee I paid you didn't go to waste. I kind of meant that as a joke, though. Ooishi took out his wallet, casually pulled out several large bills and jammed them into the breast pocket of my shirt. This isn't a refund on the collaboration fee you hear. This is just me gifting you a little spending money. The booze around here is pretty good. Use this to buy yourself a little souvenir. Ooishi flashed me a grin. If your injuries turn out to not be too serious, call me before you head back to Tokyo, will you? The old man and Sato-san said they'd like to sit at a table with you again. Oh my, I can't refuse that. And no tricks this time, just some plain old fun. They always say that. This world is done for if an active officer can cheat that blatantly. It's not that often that we meet someone who's more than a match for us. It's too bad you're going back to Tokyo. When I heard the words going back to Tokyo from Ooishi, I was reminded once again that I was relieved from my duties. Soon Yukie would be giving birth. It might still be possible to attend the delivery that I had at one time given up on. When I thought that, the pain from my injuries became trivial. I wanted to hurry back to Tokyo and see Yukie at once. Can you pretend that your injuries are a bit more serious and hang around Okinomiya for a bit? I can introduce you to a few nice places. Of course, I won't make you pay for everything. How about Angel Mord? Yeah, that's a nice place. I'm terribly sorry, but I'll have to take a rain check on that. My wife is due to give birth any day now. I want to hurry back home. Imagine choosing to be with your wife, who is about to give birth, over doing some pervy stuff with old men. That's the dream, isn't it?
What a keeper.
Oh my. I didn't know that. And you shouldn't be hanging around here. You have to hurry back home. For a while after that, Ooishi asked all sorts of questions about my wife, teasing and bantering with me. So do we leave now? Well then, how do you feel? Think you can get up? Yeah, it's not so bad, thanks to you. I can get up and walk, no problem. I stood up and shuffled around a bit, which seemed to amuse Ooishi. Seems fair after you've passed out. Also, we still don't know why exactly he passed out. Was it the stress? Was it the gunshot? Was it a concussion?
Yes.
Probably, yeah, but...
Why do you need to hear why he passed out?
Because depending on which one it was, it is a more or less good idea for him to be running around right now. I should know I have received 8 or 9 concussions in my childhood.
Well, we already know he's fine.
House. Oh, yeah. I mean, he could have permanent brain damage, we just didn't get to that part yet.
Maybe after this, instead of blue crayons, he likes the red ones.
They taste like cherries. It's more of a summer flavor though, because of a berry. No, I just thought you might not feel comfortable at a hospital in Hinamizawa. Dr. Irie said he wanted you to stay overnight. But we still haven't caught the perpetrators. For the time being, this is enemy territory for you after all. Are you saying this hospital isn't safe? Well, Dr. Irie is somebody who's well regarded in the community. I don't think anything will happen while you're here, but I'm more worried about your mental health.
The fact that he is well regarded in the community should say something.
And what should it say, Tifa?
That he's in with the community, so also the Sonozaki, so yes, it could not be safe.
Whoa. What do you mean he's in with the community and therefore the Sonozakis?
If he's well received, that means he is a big part of the community. And just like almost everyone in the Sonozaki's pocket.
He is literally the head doctor of the local clinic. Of course he is well regarded.
Yeah, but if he was against the Sonozaki family, he probably wouldn't be.
If he'd be against the Sonozaki family, he'd be dead already.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but that's why I'm saying, then it's not necessarily a safe place, now is it?
Which reminds me about my biggest grief with chapter 3. Why didn't the Sonozaki family fix Satoko's problem? Oh yeah, because she's cursed. I forgot. Because we can't help her. Because we only have way too much money and way too much house and estate so that we could give her a place to live. I had relaxed a bit now that things had progressed this far, but it was exactly as Ooishi had said. When I realized that this was enemy territory, I suddenly felt uncomfortable. With leaving being the only thing left for me to do, the chance that I would come to harm was logically fairly low. But that didn't mean I was completely safe. I want to say that's not low, because they know you're here, they know you poked around, and they know what you look like, they know you're leaving, so just go and waylay the streets leaving out of Okinomiya. They're gonna find them eventually. It's not gonna teleport. That's right. If I'm just going to be lying down and doing it in a hotel bed, it won't be all that different. Right. I also think that's for the best. At that moment I caught a glimpse of a clock over Oishi's shoulder. Where?
It's behind the curtains.
Oh yeah. Clearly. It was the evening. The hours when I could call Yuki at the hospital were almost over. I wanted to tell her as quickly as possible that I would soon be back at her side. I want to call Yuki at the hospital. Is there a public phone in the lobby? You newlyweds are all like this. If I recall correctly, there's one by the register. I'll be waiting here, so go ahead, go ahead. Oishi, laughing while saying that he was jealous, opened up the window and pulled out a cigarette, even though he was in a hospital room. Appreciative at how considerate Oishi was, I set out to the lobby to find the phone. The lobby was just a short distance down the hallway from the hospital room. I thought that this hospital was a bit too grand for a village like this, but of course it was nothing compared to the general hospital Yukie was admitted to. Running inside a hospital wasn't the best of manners, but calling hours would soon end, so I dashed over in a hurry. I can't get over how absolutely cute this crocodile paper holder is.
Yep.
It's so cute.
Adorable.
I want one like that. If we ever find one, Tifa, I want to buy one like this.
You can search for one.
There was nobody else in the lobby. It may have been the evening, but there was nobody at the reception desk. Schnappi.
Schnappi.
DMCA. What would be worse? If you accidentally perform enough of a copyrighted song that A, the DMCA strikes you down in your sleep, B, Disney lawyers knock at your door, C, Nintendo lawyers bust through your window, or D, a crocodile with a very childlike voice suddenly shows up and bites you in the foot.
Yes.
You've already made that joke? Is this going to be your thing today?
Yes.
Okay.
I would like a little crocodile to bite my big toe.
You know how big crocodiles get, right?
Yeah. But then we can be friends.
I don't think you can be friends with a crocodile.
That's not true. There's this whole story about a dude that became best friends with a crocodile.
I think the story ends with him being eaten by the crocodile.
No, I'm quite sure the crocodile dies of old age after like 30 years.
Give me 1 second, everybody.
It was a hippo. Oh, I don't know the hippo one, but there was definitely a crocodile one.
The hippo was the one that ate him in the end. Yes. Yes, that one I remember.
Oh, there's actually... With hippos, I'm somehow not surprised. Oh, there, Cheeto. Cheeto and Pocho was the story I called.
Okay. Apparently, there is a story of a Costa Rican fisherman, Cheeto. I don't speak Costa Rican. Who has been taking care of a deadly crocodile, which he has been treating as a pet for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
I hope they remain friends. I'll say it like this. Because it would suck if at some point the crocodile goes, snack, chomp.
No, he only does that to the neighbors. The hippo is the third most dangerous animal in Africa. I thought the hippo was number 1, after the Cape buffalo and the lioness.
Dangerous by what metric? Because I think in terms of most people killed, I was thinking hippo would be first.
Yeah, I always thought so too.
A lot of people underestimate hippos because they look cute. You know, they're big and round. You don't even realize that a lot of that is muscle and they can go really fast in water and on land.
I've seen this video where you see this guy on this little boat and there's this hippo like diving after them, like doing the
like a dolphin, like
thing coming right behind them, and he's like laughing, and I'm like, I would shit more than 7 colors at that point.
Yeah.
Look, creepy as fuck.
Oh, Cape buffalo is the most dangerous game because they like charging people. Hippos are the ones who do it for fun. To be fair, with what people do to those animals, I can kind of understand it.
And hippos look so cute, and it doesn't even seem that bad with like their 4 teeth.
Yeah, but those 4 teeth will crunch your skull like it's a watermelon that's overly ripe. Like, there's way too much power in that one animal. It's crazy. They're amazing creatures. Talking about amazing things, well, this might actually be lucky for me. I wasn't planning to have a conversation to feel guilty about, but it would still be embarrassing to have someone listen to the conversation between me and Yukie. Why would you be embarrassed? Why would you be embarrassed about having a conversation with your wife? Taking a quick look around, I soon found the payphone.
That depends on the type of conversation, isn't it?
Own it. If somebody gives you a weird look, I just talked to my wife who's about to give birth. Do you have a problem with that? I don't care if, like, I'm really lovey-dovey when I say my goodbyes to Tifa on the phone. I don't give a fuck who listens to it. If somebody were to give me a weird look, I'd be like, yeah, I'm sorry you don't get to experience the same thing. Digging around in my pockets, I grabbed a few coins. I was calling Tokyo from here, so I would burn through this amount fairly quickly. I picked up the receiver and inserted a coin, then dialed the number for Yuki's hospital, which I had completely memorized at this point.
Yeah.
An unknown voice is gonna pick up, and it's gonna be a Sonozaki. The number for Yuki's hospital had a lot of 8s and 9s, so dialing it in... I hate the word choice. The number for Yuki's hospital had a lot of 8s and 9s, so dialing it in inevitably took some time. Normally it wouldn't be a big deal, but currently any time was precious. However, I felt that something was strange as I was dialing the number. I don't know exactly how to put it, but it was as if the receiver was too quiet. That's because somebody's already listening along. There's somebody else on the line.
You can always tell in a call center too when they're fully muted.
Yeah, because there is quiet and there is absolute silence.
Yeah. Like you hear that click immediately.
Yeah, you hear the sound just die. And it's a weird concept. If you've never heard it, go try it out when you get the chance. That unique white noise from the telephone line wasn't there.
The line is dead?
Somehow I felt that I wasn't getting any feedback from the phone, and without feeling a response, I hung up the receiver to try again.
Cable is cut.
The coin popped out from the return slot. I reinserted the coin and began dialing once again, but the receiver was still dead silent. What is this? Is it disconnected? While I was wasting time like this, the amount I had to spend talking with Yuki shrunk. I began to feel needlessly impatient. Excuse me? I felt the presence of someone on the other side of the glass, so I called out. There was an immediate response, and a man who seemed like a pharmacist came over.
Yes, how can I help you?
Pardon me. This phone seems to be acting a little strange. Could you take a look at it? The man came over and tried testing various things with a receiver pressed to his ear. Come to think of it, this was someone who worked at the hospital, not someone from the phone company. Just as I didn't know much about phones, neither would he.
What's this?
The man held up the cord that connected the phone to the wall. It was completely severed.
Didn't I say so? What the heck is that? Well, this is a dilly of a pickle.
A dilly of a pickle?
Can't do anything with this until somebody from the phone company comes and fixes it. If you're looking for a phone, do you want to use the one in the office?
I didn't want the people in the office around while I was talking.
Yeah, so not calling is the better solution.
Is there another payphone close by?
Let's see. If you leave here and follow the road, you'll come out into the shopping district. I think there's a smoke shop on the corner around there. If you head that way, you should be able to find one soon enough.
I was dressed in a hospital gown. I was wearing sandals on my feet. My head was wrapped in bandages. Just looking at me, you could tell I was a hospital patient. No matter how you looked at it, I was not dressed to be wandering outside. But that's where the impetuousness of youth came in. Choosing the chance to talk to Yuki for even a little longer, I headed outside in my current state.
He did not choose to talk to her a little bit longer because he's taking the long-ass route to the phone stall instead of taking the one in the office around the corner.
Dumb ways to die.
And he was already worried that he only had a few minutes. He doesn't even know how far the walk is to the shopping district. Plus, he still needs to find it.
I know it's not been mentioned before, but did you know that Akasaka is canonically a pre-existing clone of Usain Bolt? He is the fastest man alive. He will make it.
I see.
Imagine he got the hospital gown with a free backside. Yes, that's actually how I imagine it. I don't even know if there's any other hospital gowns. To me, they're all like this apron thing that you just close in the back, or you don't. And then there's a lot of air. Follow the road to the shopping district. You should be able to find one soon enough. With only those two lines as my guide, I ran outside the gates of the hospital. Imagine, maybe I should swallow first and then speak. Imagine, going back to the room and going like, hey Oishi, the phone here is broken. Can you get me to a payphone, please? You have a car.
No, we want to talk to our wife so much that we're taking the long way.
Yeah.
It's summer, so you won't catch a cold at least. Yeah, except now it's night. I don't know how fast it cools down, or if it even cools down, but...
At least now the dangling won't be obstructed by the rain.
Of course! He's faster because of the swaffelen.
That actually makes you slower.
Not if he runs backwards.
That still makes you slower. It says Tifa moment, but it's a Jack moment. So here's the thing. I learned the hard way that when doing certain types of exercises or sports, I should be wearing tighter fitting underwear when I still went to school. Because once, when we had PE in the afternoon, I went to school in boxer shorts. I mean, I wore other pants over it, but it was boxer shorts and loose-fitting shorts over that. And we played a round of basketball. And I was running around. And I could feel that. And it didn't feel nice. I leave it at that.
Were you faster?
No. I was my regular speed at the beginning until there was a certain impact, and that slowed me down for the rest of the class.
But you're not part of a special police force.
True. I'm not trained to handle that kind of situation. I'm just saying, the same way women wear sports bras when exercising, guys also need to consider certain things. Unfortunately, Usain Bolt wouldn't be born for another month. Did you actually check? August 86? But it's 78. No, 78? Something like this.
I think we're in the 70s.
We're still in the past. This is still early, I think. So it's gonna be years before Mr. Bolt is born. With a village nestled in a valley, when the sun set, it got dark quickly. The sparse streetlights lit up enough to start attracting moths. The Higurashi, knowing the time for their chorus was soon at a close, redoubled their fragile cries.
I'm gonna laugh if one now aims their laser beam pea at him and pees on his wounds.
And when it reopens, the wound shoots straight through. Yeah.
You'll see the beam like come out at the back.
Imagine this, the news article. Visitor dies from being pissed through by a cicada. Finding the payphone wasn't as easy as the person at the hospital had suggested.
Yeah, you could have just taken one in the office, like no pity. No
was
pity.
It still up ahead? Did I miss it already? Was I just getting farther away? Just as I was about to be crushed by a wave of uncertainty towering over me, I found a shop on the corner with cigarettes written on a small sign. My joy spurred me onwards. Just as I had heard at the hospital, sat next to the counter of a cigarette shop was an antiquated payphone. I wasn't wearing a watch, so I didn't know what time it was. I probably didn't have much left though. But it was enough. Just as long as I could tell UK my job was done and I would be coming home soon. My doctor said I can't get pee in this room. Funnily enough, no doctor ever said that to me. And I don't know if it's just a thing that wouldn't matter or if it's so unlikely that they don't specify. Next time I go to the doctor, I'll ask him. Picking up the receiver, I slid a coin down the slot. But I felt that something was strange, just like at the hospital. Even after inserting the coin, the phone showed no response. I hung up the receiver and tried putting in the coin one more time. But there was absolutely no response. This phone was dead. It couldn't be. Thinking that I felt along the cord that protruded from the back of the phone. Doing that, my hands found the end of a completely severed line. What is this? Having now had the same thing happen twice, my bafflement was accompanied by a sense of unease. It seems that the cord had been severed cleanly by a sharp blade of some sort. And I may be mistaken, but it didn't look like much time had passed since it was cut.
Can you actually tell by a cut on a cord?
I would think with like forensics, yes, because maybe you can... Yes?
That hair was going up and it annoyed me.
Thank you for making me look pretty on screen. I would imagine you can tell from like the oxidization on the metals in the cable.
Yeah,
Maybe.
but just like from looking at it?
No, I doubt it. It's a clean cut as opposed to being sawed through.
Yeah, I get that you can see that it's cut.
But not how
he's
long
like,
it's been.
oh, this looks like it has been cut recently, basically.
He licks the tip and then goes... 30? No, 29 seconds ago. Excuse me? Hello? Opening up a booth window of a tobacco shop, I looked for someone in the dimly lit interior. Eventually, there were sounds of somebody plodding down some stairs and an old lady appeared.
Also, at what point, when you have learned everything going on about the mafia practices in the city, you just barely escaping with your life, kidnapper still being on the loose,
one of them who
your
shot
face, one of them who shot you, knows that you know what they look like and they know what you look like. And at what point will you start suspecting foul play when cables of phones have been cut through?
Yes.
Like even in a horror movie, the moment they see the first phone where that happened. I get what you were trying to do, don't worry.
Yeah, you kept going, so that killed the energy of that.
He's a police officer!
I wouldn't have left the hospital. Like, that's how you die in the movie. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. The old lady's plodding in lethargic steps for some reason only served to make me more frantic.
You need some cigarettes. I'll need to get my husband.
I'm not here to buy cigarettes. Rather, this phone here. Realizing that saying the phone was broken and asking them to take a look at it was going to get me nowhere, I swallowed back my words. So it seems that this phone is broken, and I was wondering if you could tell me where there's another payphone? The old lady moved her jaw up and down slowly, as if chewing on the meaning of my words. She also has to make eating sounds. It seemed that I'm doing the old lady. It seemed that she wouldn't understand until she had digested things thoroughly.
So the phone is broken? That's a dilly of a pickle.
No, no. The Higurashi eyes are gonna happen in a moment, aren't they? Because that's exactly the same thing the other person said. This isn't an old woman. This is not a pharmacist, and this is not an old woman. Those are Sonozakis.
So a Sonozaki can't be an old woman or a pharmacist, is what you're saying? I predict you can be both. I predict the Sonozakis have an old woman in their family. And maybe even one that's a pharmacist. Write that down. Sonozakis have old women.
No, Tifa, I'm saying their defining trait, as far as it pertains to the story, is that they are part of this S group. Sonozaki's a lot of businesses in town. Mion has a lot of uncles. Exactly.
I love pickles, yes. I never feel like I need a pickle unless I see pickles. And I'm like, pickles, love them. I had honey pickles once, those were really nice.
Nah, I didn't like them.
They were quite nice.
That was too sweet. I could go totally for a burger right now. And I'm saying burger instead of pickles because I put a lot of pickle on my burgers.
Fair. I usually eat all the pickle before the burger.
You know how sometimes people just like eat pancakes or waffles because they want to eat the stuff that they put on top of them? Kind of that's me with burgers and pickles. And beetroot.
You should try another payphone.
The old lady directed me to another payphone that seemed quite a ways away. Her way of telling me was so long-winded that I inadvertently started to get impatient. At that moment I spotted a clock in the dim interior of a store. The minute hand was just about to point straight up. Even if there was a phone right here that I could use, I would only be able to tell Yuki a good night with the time I had left. On top of that, my destination was a remote payphone which I didn't know the exact distance to. If I was of a normal state of mind, deciding to give up the payphone today would have been the natural thought process. But at that moment, I had become somewhat stubborn for some reason. Unable to use a phone in the hospital and coming out here and still being unable to use one. There was no mistaking that I had become quite insistent on using a phone. Thank you very much. I'll try looking for that phone booth. Refusing her offer to draw me a map, I left the tobacco shop. According to the old lady, even though the phone booth was quite far away, it would be easy to find. If I just followed this road straight down, I'd eventually find it. Sandals flapping as I ran, I couldn't help but laugh at myself. Sandal sounds. I'm going all the way here.
Yeah.
Now you make the moon sounds.
You.
Beautiful. That's the sound of cheese being made. I'll admit that I was quite steadfast about calling Yukie, but there were days when I was tired or busy when I couldn't call her. Even today, my entire body was covered with injuries and I was dead tired. On top of that, there wasn't much time left. It wouldn't be strange at all if today was one of those days I couldn't call her. But having twice been foiled trying to call her, had I become hot-headed about it? Was I like a dog who was being told to stay with a piece of food dangled in my face?
Nah, sorry, he's the one that gave his opportunity away in the hospital when he could have used another phone.
But then they would hear me being all ooh.
I can't do my sexy talk like that.
My masculinity is so fragile that if somebody hears me being, expressing emotions and my love, then I will feel like a lesser human being.
I'm not feeling sorry for him in this moment.
The 70s were a different time. What am I doing? Even so, I somehow couldn't quell the uneasy feelings sitting in the pit of my stomach. It was like that with the hospital phone and the same with the one at the tobacco shop. Both cords were definitely not severed from being frayed by long years of use. The clean cuts indicated that someone had taken something sharp and deliberately cut them. But who and for what reason? The more I thought about it, the more uneasy I felt, so I tried to push the thought aside. If every fiber in your being is telling you to be worried about something, maybe be worried for a moment. How much had I run so far? The scenery around me was no longer that of a shopping district with residential buildings scattered about the lonely road. The surroundings had already grown dark. I was blatantly out too far for a quick phone call, and it was quite obvious I was far removed from the hospital. I recalled the clock I saw at the tobacco shop. It might be almost time. I had run for quite a bit, so my breathing had gone quite ragged. The person in the pharmacy sent him to the tobacco store, so the person at the tobacco store could send him in here, so there would be a trap. 100%. He's about to be sprung up upon.
Yeah, but he's the one that refused the offer for the other phone.
He's so dumb.
Then there wouldn't even have been a trap.
I really think it's blood loss and at least a good concussion, because how else do you explain this behavior? If I had just wanted to hear Yuki's voice, I should have just thrown away my reservations and borrowed the phone in the office. I regretted it a little. Well, then, was it about time to give up? Just when I thought that, I saw the light in front of me. I had finally found it. It was a phone booth. It seemed that the light in the phone booth had recently been changed, as it shone with a vivid white light.
He just said, even if I had a phone right now, where he was standing at the tobacco shop, it would be too late. And now he's running halfway across the city and he still has time?
Yeah, but the thing is, now he's already spent too much time trying to get there.
It's about the time when he can still call and they accept it.
Yes, but he is so far on his mission to find this phone booth that now giving up also feels bad. As in worse than doing what you said.
But he already lost.
Yeah, but maybe it still works.
Plot hole.
It's not a plot hole, it's a dumb character. Although in the gloom of Hinamizawa it was nothing more than a gathering spot for moths. But in any case, I had finally found it! As my hand touched the door of the phone booth, I realized that I was breathing and sweating heavily. I didn't know what time it was right now, but even if it was just for a moment, I might be able to get in touch with Yukie. Since I'd spent all of his effort getting here, turning back without even giving it a try was out of the question. There you go.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have run here in the first place because there was no point.
Tifa doesn't
That he now
understand
tries
love.
it, I get. Because now he's there. But the fact that he went there is what's stupid.
Love, Tifa. The answer is love. Before I picked up the receiver, another wave of uneasiness washed over me. I was worried that this phone cord might be severed as well. How was the cord in this phone booth? Squatting down, I followed the bundle of cables as they ran along the corner into the ceiling. At a glance, nothing was out of the ordinary.
I wanted to say he's now going to die like Thingy in the first chapter, in the phone booth, but we already know he's still alive. He can't be traveling if he dies in the phone booth.
Unless the person that is telling the story isn't Akasaka.
No, he specifically spoke in the I form. And how would he know all of these details and speak in first person if that wasn't him?
Maybe the narrator in the beginning of this chapter is a different one than this one.
Then the writing would make no sense to me.
I ran my fingers as far as I could along the line to check it out. The only thing they found was a thick layer of dust. Nothing out of the ordinary. I wondered if it was popular in Hinamizawa to cut the cords of payphones as some sort of tasteless prank. It might be prudent to talk to Rishi about this later. Even if it was nothing more than a prank, it was still vandalism of public property.
Yeah, some people put on their aluminium hats too soon. He takes too long. Put it on. Put the hat on and start seeing conspiracies in everything.
He doesn't have an aluminium hat anymore, Tifa, because he probably ate the damn thing on the way. In any case, this one was fine. This time. Pulling out a coin from my pocket with one hand, I picked up the receiver with the other. Also, question, he's in his hospital gown, right? Why is there coins in the hospital gown?
Don't some have like a front pocket?
When did he put the coins in there?
Who knows?
Is it a normal thing in 1970s Japan that when a hospital undresses you and then dresses you in a hospital gown, that they give you some spare change?
No, it's normal. They have a pocket on each side and they put a coin on there as weight so that you don't have a Marilyn Monroe moment.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That's why he's also so out of breath, because the coins are so heavy.
Well, that's because he probably ran a good distance, but...
Pulling out a coin from my pocket with one hand, I picked up the receiver with the other. Dual wielding. But this time, before the receiver even reached my ear, I felt something was off. The receiver was light. It was more than a slightly unpleasant feeling. It felt almost sickening. To verify the source of my displeasure, I peered at the receiver in my hand with a measure of reluctance. What the hell is this? The coiled cord that connected the receiver to the rest of the phone had been ripped apart, the tip of a cable swaying in the air. It was all I could do to restrain myself as a raw and unpleasant feeling worked its way up the small of my back. It was a type of dread. At that moment I heard the crunch of somebody stepping on gravel. The light was reflecting off the glass walls of a booth, leaving me unable to see outside into the darkness. The next thing we're going to see is a shot of the Higurashi eyes. I swear it. I steeled myself and stepped out of a phone booth. The inside of the booth was lit with that strong light which might have made it warmer in there. Just stepping outside I could feel a chill wash over me. And there was the silhouette of a person. A small silhouette.
It's gonna be Rika.
The long hair of its silhouette was blown away by the cool breeze. No Higurashi eyes.
Injured people shouldn't be sneaking out of the hospital.
Somewhere in my head I knew who this girl was. I didn't have any basis for it, but I knew that this was that girl.
Right, Akasaka?
She, Rika Furude, said that almost like it was a warning. Did you do this to the phone cord? She seems so short, how does she even reach up there? Like she...
They were pretty low, you know?
Yeah, but she's really small. Like in one hand she has like a little cutting knife, and in the other she has like a little stepladder so that she can reach up there. Her expression remained unchanged and my question was left unanswered. In other words, no response. Regardless, I felt that she had affirmed my suspicions. Why would you do something like this? Why? The last word had a tinge of anger behind it. I frantically tried to smooth things out, but she didn't seem very afraid.
There's nothing that can be done.
Huh? I interpreted her words as meaning that I wasn't going to be in time for calling hours at the hospital. I interpreted the words as meaning that I wasn't going to be in time for calling hours at the hospital.
Her words.
Not a bit, no.
So now I'm just
No.
pulling your leg.
No, fair, but no. No. There is something about the writing. I've said it before, I'm saying it again, I don't care. It almost seemed to me like her words meant that I wasn't going to be in time for calling Yukie. You can make the lines so much more palpable.
It's not as smooth.
Yeah. But thinking about it, that would have been a strange thing to say. Why would she know something like that? I could take what she had said to have any other meaning. She just stood there like... Wait. I could take what she had said to have any other meaning?
Yeah. He took it as in, oh, I wasn't going to be in time, but he could have interpreted that as anything else because she couldn't have known that.
How about I couldn't take what she said to have any other meaning?
No, I could. Because he can take it as anything, but he decided to take it as that. Like, I get what you're tripping over, but...
She just stood there like a mannequin, not even moving an inch. Almost to the point that if the wind wasn't occasionally rustling through her long hair, there would be the illusion that time had stopped.
I know very well that you think I'm creepy, Akasaka.
No, that's not true. My denial came out almost like a bad piece composed for a poetry slam. But her words were right on the mark.
Cannons! On the right of them. That's not true. On the left of them.
I have prepared a short piece that I would like to read out to you all. Huh. Ah. No. That's not true.
Beautiful.
Thank you, everybody.
Absolutely beautiful.
That was Jack playing Akasaka at the Poetry Slam. Yeah. The only thing I was missing was an ill-fitting hat.
I'm gonna record that.
Make it a clip. Upload it everywhere.
I want it on a poster.
I don't know why, but I always imagine myself, if I were to deliver like a poetry slam kind of thing, I would be wearing an ill-fitting hat.
No, you've already done more poetry. I still remember The Sky is Blue.
The sky is blue and so am I, but not my boss, because she is dying.
Yeah, see? Absolutely stunning.
No, sorry, I messed up the words. The sky is blue and so am I, but not my boss, for she is die. Yeah, it was for, not because.
No, I think it was because.
It was for. That felt more pretentious.
You sure?
Yeah, 100,000,000%. I peaked when I wrote that. I had always felt something ominous and uncanny about her, ever since her strange threats at the shrine. No, for some reason. Can you read that like Michael Jackson? That's how I imagined it. Rika just standing there like, hee. She had noticed that my expression was contrary to my words, seemingly my voice was gone. I lost it at the poetry slam.
Rika can't accept true beauty when she hears it.
She had noticed that my expression was contrary to my words, seemingly laughing at the gap between them.
Akasaka, you coward.
I'm not a coward, is what the coward said. Rika, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Rika? You've been cut by a smooth criminal.
A small Rika-chan.
Wait. Move a bit to the left. Oh, I'm pulling back.
Oh wow, you totally had your feet planted on the ground.
Yeah, I did. Best Michael Jackson Michael Jackson Rika-chan dancing impression. We need to take a small break in a moment because I need something for my throat. I don't feel... No, water isn't cutting it. I don't feel like I'm doing anything to my vocal cords, but you can hear it. Being laughed at by a small child didn't sit well with me. So I said that.
This is unpleasant, Rika.
Just smack her.
Even if you find another phone, it's too late.
Wait. It's not I let out a deep sigh. It's quotation mark. Sigh. That's right. She didn't even have to say it. I was absolutely too late. I might have already missed calling hours even by the time I reached this phone booth. I was too late. I had no option but to give up for today. Once I decided that, my unhealthy obsession with phones suddenly faded. Can you get into the moment, Akasaka-san? You ran from the hospital with a cut phone to the tobacco shop with a cut phone, all the way out to Hinamizawa village with a cut cord, and now this weird, creepy freaking kid is standing in front of you.
This whole bit is a bit stupid if you ask me.
Like, how bad did he bleed out? How much blood did he lose? His brain is not braining. If this happens to me, listen, if I wake up in a hospital and for some reason I decide I'm gonna run all the way 3 stops further to make a phone call, and this creepy kid shows up, I'm gonna go first strike. I'm against violence. I'm not in favor of punching or hitting anybody, especially not children. I'm gonna kick the shit out of this kid. I'm gonna punt her like a football at the deciding goal at the Super Bowl. I'm gonna launch her into space. But he has brain damage. He has to.
It's the only explanation.
I mean, he has been hit in the head with a rock multiple times. I get that. Even I thought it was strange that I was that obsessed. That strange obsession now gone, I began to laugh at how hopeless I was. I mean, just look at what I was wearing. It wasn't normal. A hospital gown and sandals. My head wrapped in bandages and my body completely soaked in sweat. It was a wonder that the old lady at the tobacco shop wasn't surprised to see me.
No, why was she not surprised to see you?
Yes, I didn't even think of that yet, but yes. Why was there nobody out on the streets, Akasaka-san?
Well, that's not too unusual. But if someone comes up to you...
In the shopping district, nobody's out.
It's a small village. If someone comes up to you, and it was dark already, don't forget. If someone comes up to you in a hospital gown...
In a village.
Fully sweated through, with bandages around your hand.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
If you live in like New York or a really big city, at some point everybody like goes like, yeah, just minding my own business. Like if I go to work, or like if I'm out and about and I see some person walking on a hospital gown, I'm thinking to myself, actor, cosplay.
Even in New York, someone would.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I do think so.
100% no. No.
I think you would at least get some looks.
Yeah, but nobody would talk to you. Nobody would be weirded out about it. It's like,
no one would talk to you. Why
that's
did she?
an uncommon fashion choice, and then just go about your business. With wanting to hear Yuki's voice as my motive, I had traipsed around the town the entire evening. I didn't know whether to call it the follies of youth or simply plain embarrassing. Well, depending on the gown, more like embarrassing. Get it? In any case, it was all I could do. But to laugh at myself.
But?
But. He is the butt of a joke.
No. There's nothing left for Akasaka to do tonight.
You're right, there's nothing. I'll just quietly return to the hospital.
That's fine. Do you know the way?
I hope I do. She waved a little hand as I began to head back the way I came. She began to follow alongside me. Looking at her face, I could see that she wore a mischievous smile, as if she was extremely interested in whether or not I would get lost. How is none of this weird? This feels like a nightmare I wake up from, drenched in sweat. Before we go to Rika-chan's house, how about we take a short break? I can get some tea with honey or something for my throat.
BRB.
BRB.
We're back.
We are. I'm still getting the nut out of my mouth.
Yeah, like I say, your throat hurts, and instead of getting something easy for the throat, you eat peanuts.
Highly unprofessional. I snacked on some spiced peanuts during the break, but I got some tea with honey in it.
Why is that highly unprofessional? Oh, because now it's stuck between your teeth.
Because one, that, plus I was like, hey, we're back, and I'm not actually ready for a stream. Oh well. It be what it be.
Madness. Refund. I want the refund. Unwatch.
Unwatch. Unwatch, unfollow, unsubscribe. Whatever. Unmake my account I'm using to watch. Cancel my internet.
Erase, alt-race.
Sell my PC, smartphone, whatever I'm using to watch.
This is unpleasant.
I'm sorry. Is Rika-chan's house also this way?
It is.
Won't your parents be mad that you're walking around alone at this hour?
Not really. My parents are busy today, so they probably forgot about me.
Even then, it's best if you head on home. They'll definitely be angry.
Even if they are, it's much more interesting to talk with Akasaka, so I'm fine.
Why do you always stumble over that name?
I somehow keep reading something else, I don't know.
What are you reading?
Asakaka.
As a caca? So, effectively you're reading but a poo-poo.
But.
Ready made that one. She said that with a face free from worry as she looked up at me once more and smiled. When she showed me that smile, that eerie feeling surrounding her faded. But even then, she was still as mysterious to me as ever. When we arrived at the corner I had turned at earlier. But it was much darker than before, and with a point of view changed on the return trip, I wasn't very confident that this was actually the corner I turned at. There's no mistake, it had to be this corner. As I began to move my feet again, the girl grabbed onto my clothes.
Isn't Akasaka going back to the hospital?
Of course, at least I intend to. Am I going the wrong way? A short moment of silence. Eventually, still holding onto my clothes, she began to walk. It was the beginning of a walk to the hospital this mysterious girl would take me on. Always, we take a break, we end the stream, we continue the game. End of scene. Every single time. Is it fate? Is it destiny? Or is it a skill?
Maybe both.
I know they're reusing art assets a lot because it's a visual novel. But I cannot see this background and not see the time where Keiichi killed somebody.
Oh, spoilers.
It's not a spoil.
It is a spoiler because it didn't even happen yet.
If somebody watches us at this point, where it's chapter 4 of Higurashi, and they haven't seen chapter 3 of Higurashi, I'm sorry I spoiled it for you.
Yeah, but what if I started with this one?
When you're doing it
Because
wrong.
it's the prequel.
No, when you're doing it wrong. Same with like video game series. Just play in order of release. Make it easy for yourself. The person who was running around cutting off the phone cords was you, wasn't it, Rika-chan? You shouldn't do that anymore.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Really? She tried to play dumb, but it was written all over her face. Okay, why is she acting like this? Because I don't think she does that to pretend that she didn't do it.
I have no clue, but we're being led somewhere.
Is she being possessed? Lore-wise, we've been told that the first daughter of a Furude family is Oyashiro-sama.
She doesn't act any weirder than some of the others that are also possessed.
Also, how exactly... If you think about those things too much, you will find a flaw in the theory, I guess. But how does that work? The firstborn woman in the Furude family is Oyashiro-sama reborn, right?
The first woman in the 7th generation.
Oh, I forgot about the 7th generation part. Okay, yeah, you got me.
She's the 7th generation.
I was thinking, how can her mother be a born Furude and she be a born Furude? Wouldn't? But yeah, 7th generation.
Every 7 generations.
But theoretically...
No.
Yes, hear me out. Theoretically. It's messed up. But if that is the case, you could have 2 Oyashiro-samas reborn, alive at the same time.
You can't, because there's always one born first.
That's not what I'm saying.
If you're going towards twins.
No, not twins. If the firstborn of a 7th generation lady Furude, yeah, has her child really young, talking like 13, 14. And like I said, I don't like it, but it's possible. And the next 6 generations also do that. Then by the time the next 7th generation comes up, the first one, the Oyashiro-sama reborn, will be in her 90s.
Oh, she'll probably be dead already.
Oh, when fate strikes in a way?
Fate strikes, you die, and then gets reborn.
Mysteriously, exactly. The moment Rika-chan was born, her mother, grandmother, great-great-great-grandmother mysteriously passed away despite being at the ripe old age of 146. It was obvious she was trying to laugh it off, but that adorable smile of hers just made me want to forgive her. I'm going to be a horrible father, aren't I? That momentary lapse in tension was erased by her next words.
It's good that they found the grandson safe and sound.
Unable to respond right away, I sunk into silence. I had already learned this from Sato-san's info, didn't I? This girl, no, this entire village knew everything since the moment I set foot in it. I considered playing dumb, but in the end I chose not to. With everything being known already, there was no point in me feigning ignorance. Somehow.
That's great. Now you can go back to Tokyo.
Thank you.
Are your injuries bad, Nagasaka?
Don't know. I haven't heard anything from the doctor yet, so I don't know if they are or not.
Want me to make it worse?
Imagine running all the way into the village without...
But who doesn't have a little brain damage? I mean,
yes.
You also have a point there.
Yeah. I feel like I'm getting brain damage from Akasaka at this point. Huh? Come to think of it, I vaguely remembered being told to lie down and take it easy for at least 24 hours. Did that mean bed rest? Wait, the doctor told me to lie down in bed for 24 hours. Does that mean bed rest?
So I shouldn't have been running a marathon.
I swear, you better tell me that he has brain damage or like a bad concussion or something. This.
Something to explain this behavior.
Yeah.
And when does Oishi start coming after us?
You would think he went after him after, like, I don't know, half an hour. He was sick of love. Yeah. Where did that brain damage come from? That's right, genocide Jill. Did you know if you spell genocide Jill backwards? Race car.
It's all coming together.
Same with Rika. Rika spelled backwards? Race car.
Love. The wounded shouldn't be sneaking out of the hospital.
People shouldn't be cutting phone calls.
Meek, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Then I don't know what you're talking about either. As we played dumb with each other, we both laughed at the same time. If somebody saw us laughing at each other like this, it would probably bring a smile to their lips.
Like I was acting like this is perfectly normal behavior.
If I felt like she was about to murderize me, I would just play along too. You know, because like, hey, maybe if we just pretend like this is all normal, I don't die tonight. But yeah, this seems completely natural to him. Like, yeah, I just ran from the hospital all the way to the next town and checked 3 phone booths, all of the calls were cut, and now I'm walking back to the hospital with this little girl. Yeah, this is normal behavior.
Yeah. The chances of Akasaka leaving this village alive weren't very high. I don't want Akasaka to die, so I'm glad you're leaving the village alive.
Rika-chan? You knew who I was right from the beginning, didn't you? She said nothing but gave a firm nod. Well then, I think you know this, but we're probably somewhat of an enemy to the people in this village, I would think. But you still gave me lots of warnings. That's right. She said it at that time. She wouldn't warn somebody that she was okay with dying. She definitely said something like that. Then I should probably be thanking you.
You probably should. Just like we should thank Skinner for being first.
Yes, congratulations. I drink to that.
What he said. How are you doing?
Happy Sunday.
I'm your savior.
Saying that, she puffed up her chest proudly. Beautiful. She said it jokingly, but the meaning behind those words was quite heavy. It was because whether I lived or died was a decision that might have been made in a place unbeknownst to me. She said those words with such an adorable smile that it took a few moments of silence for their weight to settle in. I'd been to this place before. The Guardian's office was there. It was the stone steps leading up to the Furude shrine. When I passed by before, I was so focused on finding a phone booth I hadn't realized where I was. If I recall correctly, this shrine is Rika-chan's house, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Good, just chilling some Nosferatu last night. It was criminally good.
Oh, nice.
Have you seen Wicked yet? Because it's Tifa's new favorite movie of all time.
It was a good movie, is all I'm saying. I also really want to watch Nosferatu. Probably won't watch that in the cinema, but it looked really good. Glad to hear it was good.
I want to see the more positive Nosferatu spin-off, Yes, Ferratu.
That's gonna be the sequel.
How are y'all? Anyone dead here yet? We might as well be, because apparently our guy has so much brain damage from the fight that he just decided, yeah, I'll need to make a phone call, I'll run to the next town over, and oh look, there's this creepy little girl, I'll just walk with her, and this is all normal behavior.
Here lies Squidward's hopes and dreams. That episode was so sad. Babysitters are a myth. Oh, you can drop the kids off with us.
Yeah, just fly over to Germany.
Just fly over here, we'll babysit, and then...
To be fair though,
pick 'em up.
Tifa will take care of the kids. I've never babysat before. I don't have any siblings. I've never dealt with a small child in my life. I don't think I'm qualified. I do not know. And I feel like your children are not the people who should find out whether I'm good at babysitting or not.
Olivia will probably end up babysitting you.
That's possible, but I'm just saying that there's a risk involved. I wouldn't want you to take it.
Meant to watch it with my friend after I got back from America, but she's busy as fuck with overtime, so I'll see if it's still in the cinema next week. Nosferatu didn't come out that long ago.
Wicked. I'm pretty sure.
To Wicked. I think this is the last month. So I think you might still have time. It was really good. It was really good.
Watched Heretic last night, another A24 film. Isn't A24 studio that mostly does like horror movies? I think. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Looking up at the shrine grounds, it was brightly lit and energetic voices. Oh.
It was brightly lit.
I hate the sentence structure. Looking up at the shrine grounds, it was bright lit and energetic voices could be heard. Oh, what was going on? No, it's the night of Watanagashi. No, don't do that. No.
There's a festival today.
A festival?
The best and only festival in Hinamizawa. The Watanagashi festival. I completely forgot about the festival. Hasn't been a thing at all. But there it is.
Watanagashi? Cotton drifting?
Just knowing the name is boring. Do you want to take a look?
She asked bluntly. But seeing that I looked interested, she climbed up a couple of steps and motioned for me to come. I was only going to go back to sleep anyways. If I had nothing else to do, it might not have been a bad idea to go for a little detour. In the hostile territory that was this village, I didn't know what would happen if I ventured down a side road without Ooishi. Then why did she run? Oh my god.
Well, now we went to the hostile headquarters.
Yeah.
So much better.
Yeah.
If they can't find me, I'll just go to them, I'll make it easier. Why not?
But that also explains why he didn't come across anybody else on his run. Because everybody is here. Because they don't want to die.
I guess. Also, A24 is mostly horror.
Oh.
Distribute a lot of indie films. Doesn't ring a bell at all, actually.
Even though I thought of a village like that when I was with this girl, I forgot all about it. In any case, even without anything to back it up, I felt that as long as I was with her, none of the ill will from the village would befall me. That's why, even though I knew my cover was blown, I strangely had no qualms about setting foot into the heart of the Onigafuchi Guardian's territory. Climbing up to the grounds of a shrine, I could see that there were about 3 pavilions set up with meeting tables and folding chairs. The old folks from the village, no, the executives of the Guardians, were already quite drunkenly sharing another round of drinks. I could only see it as the people from the village council drinking while enjoying the evening air.
We're gonna be dessert. We're gonna be the beer snack.
Watch it. We are now going to the Watanagashi, and then we're gonna be the snack. We're gonna get dismembered. But Akasaka is gonna wake up afterwards. Like it was all just a dream. No?
No, I don't think so.
Also, they do surreal art films, some of which are usually horror flicks. Alright? I think I've seen some movie that they released not too long ago, but I don't remember which one.
Really doesn't ring a bell.
At the very least, it was certainly quite different than any festival I'd ever seen.
See? It's quite a boring festival, isn't it?
This certainly doesn't look like a festival.
It's a festival that's happened since long ago, but as you can see, it's not like it used to be.
As if to chide the old folk, she said that while looking at them with an exasperated expression. You really couldn't call this a festival anymore. It was just a bunch of neighbors getting together to drink under the guise of a festival. What's wrong with that? Seems nice enough to me.
Yeah, but it's not a festival.
Yeah, but still...
If you meet in a bar and meet with a group of people and drink, it's not a festival.
Yeah, but as long as everybody's having a good time. You know?
Yeah, but it's not a festival, that's the point.
I think every day I get to spend in your presence feels like a festival, Tifa. Love. least one of us is feeling it. I feel sorry for the deity being celebrated here. You shouldn't have said that.
Give this sorry excuse for a festival of 5 or 6 more years, then everybody in the village will start coming. The ceremony will also be done properly, and it will be a respectable festival once again.
What she said was not so much wishful thinking as it was the telling of a future that had already been determined. She wasn't even predicting it, it was almost like she was simply reporting the results. That's how it sounded. Even though it was a baseless speculation, the way she said it wouldn't let me interject. It was the same way she talked when she changed. While I struggled to find the words to reply to her, she wandered over to the other side of the grounds, not minding me at all. Not in a state where I could afford to be left behind, I hurriedly followed after her. Passing through a what?
Copse?
I'm googling that word because...
Copse.
A copse is a small group of trees. This game is so lusciously loquacious.
It's not for me.
Who uses that word?
The writing is pretentious.
This man learning all words today. Skinner, when was the last time you heard, said, or read the word copse? As in a clearing with trees. Not the people outside making the crime go away. Hopefully. Quite often, to be honest. I think you're lying. I do not believe that. Imagine complaining about learning new things. I don't mind that at all, but that word seems made up. Even more than every other word.
Don't need to learn this.
Passing through a copse of pine trees, a strong and cool breeze ruffled my hair. Thank you. There, from that one evening, was the splendid observation platform the girl had shown me. As it had grown completely dark, the modest lights littered across the nightscape were providing a different type of scenery.
Looking at it like this village seems tranquil.
She said that with an indifferent look on her face. Just the other day, you said that this village definitely wouldn't be submerged by the dam, didn't you? She didn't reply, seemingly relishing in the feeling of a wind blowing through her hair. Didn't that mean, at that point in time, the minister had already complied with the demands? She spun around, her gaze meeting mine. But she said nothing. She spoke nothing that would neither confirm nor deny what I had just said. This case will probably remain shrouded in darkness. Headquarters probably doesn't want trouble from a scandal with a minister breaking out.
There's no mistake that they threatened to kill the grandchild.
Then negotiations with the minister were successful and the grandson was released.
The one who saved the grandson was you.
I wonder about that. The discovery of that wallet that started this chain of events. That alone was almost too convenient, I think. Ever since the moment that wallet was discovered, I felt something was odd. Ooishi said it as well, that the Sonozaki family had given the order to release the hostage, meaning that our little manhunt was a farce to begin with. And come to think of it, I was punched, kicked, and had a gun pointed at me. I felt like they put up quite a fight, but that might have all been part of a good performance. Once the negotiations were successful, they couldn't just say, "Here you go," and return the minister's grandson right to his doorstep.
Out of curiosity, why?
It's a good question. I don't know why.
Even if public safety realized this was a kidnapping, why couldn't they just go, "Here's him back"?
I would imagine that has happened at least once before. That somebody got kidnapped, the demands were met, and then the person just got reappeared.
Yeah, it's not unheard of. Usually you're just dropped somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But I don't get why they couldn't just do that. Because he's making it seem like, oh no, that's not an option.
I don't know if the Japanese culture of the 70s dictates that it doesn't work like that. They knew that public safety had realized that this was a kidnapping case and were moving in on it. That's why, due to the actions of public safety, the grandson was able to be rescued safely. So the minister didn't give in to any unreasonable demands. That type of performance was necessary. It had to look like a rescue. It had to look real. That's the whole gimmick, I guess.
I don't know about these difficult things.
Likewise. Even for me, I can't make much sense of it. But there's one thing I can be certain of. It's just as you said. This village won't be submerged. The dam project will soon be over. That wasn't something an officer of the law should be saying, but I naturally let those words slip from my mouth. This village may have stirred up all sorts of trouble, but that was because they were protecting their homes. If someone just decided by themselves that I had to leave the house I was used to living in, I would resent them as well. On top of that, it wasn't a place like mine where I just happened to be renting it, but a place that their families had lived for generations. It might be ignorant to call their desperate resistance an overreaction. I might not really be qualified to criticize politics or bureaucracy, but deliberately building a dam on land that was loved by its residents wasn't something I could get behind. I think you deliberately build dams where there is a river and infrastructure that would support a dam. You don't just randomly go, which village can I fuck over the most by this move? I don't think that's how that works usually. Still, aren't you glad?
Why would that be?
At the very least, with this, peace will return to this village. Even though the minister promised to use his considerable influence to cancel the project, it would probably take more than a few months before it would be completely scrapped. At the very least, it would probably take 1 or 2 years. For villagers to officially hear that their village wasn't going to be submerged at the bottom of the dam was still a ways away. But it was no mistake that the promise of peace returning to the village was there. It turned out, from beginning to end, that it had already all been decided. Just as the girl had said, it was decided.
So close. It's causing tsunamis in Hawaii. Hinamizawa is still going to be submerged because of the tsunami hitting them.
Somehow the wave goes towards Hawaii, then takes a turn, goes all the way to Japan, gets really narrow, travels all the way up this river.
Does a bit of a jump.
Yeah, jumps over all the bridges, nobody else gets wet. There wasn't really a need for me to come here in the first place. There was absolutely no need for me to have come here and aggravate an unpleasant situation. If I had never come here, then the grandson's release might have been done in a more amicable manner.
Peace? In this village?
When I nodded, she laughed as if to admonish me. But her face remained indifferent, expressionless. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, it's amore. I know you wrote amore, but... Now I feel like eating pizza. Great. Thanks, Psycho.
Is that the actual lyrics to that? Like, I hear...
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, it's amore. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, like I hear the song, but I can't pinpoint. Oh, yeah. I need to.
Gonna post in Discord.
Thank you. I need to re-listen to that song. Like, it's so annoying. Like, sometimes you see this entire scene play very deep in the back of your head, or like you hear a song, and you hear the lyrics, but the moment you try to say it, you can't
grasp it. Yeah.
And like you suddenly don't remember it at all. It is so annoying.
I have it all the time. When the stars seem to shine like you had too much wine, you're in love. This is a singing stream now. Unless you actually did just have too much wine, then just lay down. No. If that works for you, I'm so happy for you. The last time I drank too much and the world spun, the only thing that I knew was gonna fix it for me was to stay the fuck awake. And keep drinking water. Eat some greasy foods, because alcohol and fat just like kind of cancel each other out? No. Stay awake, stay hydrated, wait till the world stops spinning and then sleep.
When you lay down and close your eyes, I always feel like the spinning goes even faster.
Yes.
Suddenly it's like...
I remember that was when we went drinking with Eminem.
Oh, yeah.
Not the artist, but friends of ours. We came home and I knew I had too much, but I didn't think it was that bad because I was feeling okay, like I had already like walked off my bus. I laid down. The moment I laid down, I felt like somebody was spinning the room and pulling the bed out under me. I did not move. I swear I felt like I was flying in the worst way possible.
That's what happens.
It's horrible.
I usually lay down.
Beyblade. Yes, yes.
I usually lie down and try to force myself to sleep when that happens.
If I get to that point, the very first time I got drunk, that was with you back then. Many, many moons ago when I would not stop talking. I did that. I drank too much. I went to bed. I slept the next day. For the next 2 days, I was so hungover. No. Never again. But her face remained indifferent, expressionless. She seems pretty expressionful there, like she's happy.
Yeah, the expression just changed.
And then her eyes narrowed slightly as she snickered. She snickered.
Even though every year from now on something bloody will occur?
Rika-chan, what are you talking about? As the wind blew her hair about the girl as if taking pleasure in that I was the only one who didn't know, continued to snicker as she looked at my face for a while.
You see, in a few years, I'll be killed.
Huh? Backlit by the moon, it was hard to tell if her expression had been cast in shadow, was smiling, amused, or resigned. You will. Why?
It's a very unpleasant thing, though. It's also probably been decided already.
Decided already? Who would decide that sort of thing?
I'd like to know that as well. So Rika already knows what's happening to her.
Wait.
Or what's going to happen.
No, wait. Chapter 4 Rika knows. With how chapters 1, 2 and 3 went, I'm not entirely certain chapter 1, 2 and 3 Rika knew.
I have a feeling that all Rikas kind of blend into one.
Oh my god, wait.
Out of all the universes, I think Rika will kind of remains...
Wait. Is Higurashi the story of the reborn Oyashiro-sama in Rika trying to get a timeline in which she doesn't die?
I don't think Oyashiro-sama has the goal of keeping her alive.
No, but Rika does. And clearly she has some clairvoyant powers because so far everything she said came true. Every single time as far as we know.
I think there is something that she tries to do, but I don't think it's keeping herself alive. But I have a feeling that the Rika in every chapter is somehow sort of connected or knows what's going on. We sort of got a hint already in chapter 3 where things start bleeding into one for Keiichi, which was already weird.
At this point, who would still be on board of there's scientific explanations for all of this? This very much seems like a supernatural story, which I'm okay with because it's well done, but I feel like the question of is it gods and deities and mysticism or is it science is kind of out of a question now.
I have a feeling 99% they're gonna explain with a scientific reason or a logical explanation, and there will be this 1% open that can probably be put towards like a supernatural thing. Seems like the type of game to pull that off.
Ranger has been wine drunk once, never again. Forcibly had to run a PT test the next morning because I was still drunk. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do that to yourself? Box wine is just a construct used to hide, but it comes in a bag. Does it?
A lot of wine comes
in bags?
These bags or cartons.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't know because I've never opened a box of wine. So I couldn't tell you if that's like a Tetra Pak kind of thing. That's the brand name, but I think that's the generic term as well. Like one of those drink packages.
But yeah, with wine you can go fast.
You can go fast with anything as long as you drink fast enough, and a lot of it. Turning back to face me, she showed me a resolute expression for the first time. And after staring into my eyes for a moment, she turned back to gaze at the scenery before she spoke her next words.
There's a lot of people who have no regard for human life. Even if I tell you this, it might not change anything though. But if you want to erase the specter of death, sometimes, like with the reflection of the moon on the water, all you have to do is throw a small stone.
100% Higurashi is about Rika not dying.
I think it is about Rika dying. Her death probably triggers something.
If you want to erase the specter of death, sometimes it takes a small thing. Do you know, like these memes, like time traveler goes back in time and then in the current time everything is different, or one funny detail is different? Back to the Future, same idea. Spoilers for Back to the Future.
What if Rika dying is what triggers everything?
No.
Remember the episodes usually start with like blood splattering?
No.
What if that is the moment of Rika's death? And that is the moment where another universe already starts.
Oh, do you think the intro, the beginning of chapter 1, could be Keiichi killing Rika?
No, I don't think it's necessarily Keiichi. I don't know who kills Rika, but
somebody killing Rika.
I do think it's Rika's death. Like the more and more you get to learn about Rika, she seems too important. Especially now with the whole reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama and her already knowing things.
Today on My Favorite Letter is Why with Tak and Jifa playing Rashi Higu. Exactly.
I think the blood you see spilled at the beginning of the chapter is Rika's. And I think that is the start. When she dies,
like it either.
It's the trigger of another universe. Write that down.
Say what? I mean, I know you said words, but...
The blood splatters at the beginning of...
The opening of chapter 1.
A lot of chapters started with...
No, they didn't.
Didn't chapter 2 also start with blood?
No.
Okay, well, that's Rika dying.
Akio kills Rika. Yeah, well...
And her death is what triggers the different universes. I'm just not sure what caused the bleeding in chapter 3.
I had no idea what she was trying to say.
Hey, you didn't write it down?
I did. The opening of chapter 1. Yes, Tifa?
That Rika's death also triggers a new multiverse.
Is that the same or a different prediction?
Different one.
Rika's death starts a new Higurashi universe.
Yes.
Alright.
I do think they're gonna put some supernatural part in it.
Deadpool kills Rika. Yeah, in the after credit scene of Deadpool too. I had no idea what she was trying to say. It's just, I had to listen to every word with my body and soul, or at least that's what I thought. The writer's telling you, literally telling you, this is important, remember this. I had to listen with my body and soul.
Yeah, but Rika knows too much about what's going to happen. This day next year. Yes, June 1979. On this day, the foreman of the dam construction project will be killed.
What? For a moment I couldn't comprehend what she was talking about. By the foreman, did she mean that gruff old man I was playing mahjong with? But... be killed? What makes you think... She didn't answer. but she had the same expression on her face as she did when she declared that the dam project would go away. But it wasn't the face of somebody making a forecast or a prediction. It was something that was already decided. No, it was as if she was already reporting the results, that sort of expression.
See, that's what I mean. Like, she can't know these things without some sort of...
Rika has played the first 3 chapters.
Can't wait to forget all this in the 30s, or in the 30s. You mean by next week?
I also took it as in his 30s.
After being killed in a gruesome manner, the body will be torn apart and disposed of.
Murdered and dismembered.
The next year, in June of 1980 on this day, Satoko's parents will be pushed to their deaths.
Satoko? It was the first time I heard the name, but I didn't have the courage to interrupt the girl's story.
It might be an accident. An unfortunate accident.
The girl smiled faintly, but she wasn't exactly encouraging me to smile along with a lifeless look in her eyes.
And then, the year after that, this day, in June of 1981, my parents will be killed. And then, the year after that, this day, in June of 1982, Satoko's abusive aunt will have her head split open and die. And then, the year after that, this day, in June of 1983. Or possibly a few days afterwards, I will be killed. If all the deaths are preordained, then the last one would also be all according to plan. But then, whose plan would it be? Whose plan is this? That is a good question.
Why is there... Okay, wait. We need to do a thing. Which one is the button to... There. Wait 1 second. This blood splatter is important enough that I'm willing to do a thing.
There's a Mickey Mouse toy with a sword in there.
Why can you not see my cursor? Oh, now you can. So, Rorschach. So,
And
you first,
turtle.
I first?
I can go first. I see a turtle
Here.
chasing a chicken with a top hat.
No.
Or a turkey. Could
It's-
also be a turkey.
Take the mouse. Where do you see a turkey in that?
I see a... Here's the turtle.
That's
Like,
definitely a turtle.
This is the shell.
That's the shell,
You
that's
have
the
the
head.
little head here, the mouth, like some of its arms sticking through.
Some of his arms, because turtles have multiple arms.
Here in this one, you have the head here. Or the head of the turkey. It's turkey. The head of the turkey and a super tiny little head sticking out here.
Okay.
And here's the head.
Mm-hmm.
Here it's holding a lollipop.
Okay.
And this is the turkey tail and 2 legs.
No. I'm with you on the turtle here, but this is a mouse in a go-kart. Driving
Oh, if you like
this way.
flip it, I see what you
This
mean.
is the
yeah.
front wheel, this is the back wheel, and it's driving this way, but somehow there's like a proof of something in it. There is very clearly Mickey Mouse over here
Yep.
doing something ungodly. Because Mickey Mouse is on all fours and he has a tail and there's blood everywhere. Also,
No, I see that as Mickey Mouse with its body below it, standing on 2 legs with a pointy thing.
this is the pointy thing.
Yeah, that's the pointy
Okay,
thing.
what's this?
I
A
don't know,
shield.
Maybe it's,
This is Kingdom Hearts. Oh my god.
it's a visible fart.
Mickey farts while doing a stabbing. This up here is an attack helicopter. This is the body of a heli, the chopper body. This over here is one of those big guns on the side of an attack helicopter. And this is the rotor blades in full movement.
I can see that.
Also, Mickey has like psionic powers because like energy is coming from his head.
Oh shit, it's T. That is such a coincidence. First of all, Happy
Welcome
New
in.
Year.
Happy New Year.
I kid you
How
not.
have you been?
I swear I was thinking of you last week. I did the dishes and I didn't clean the sink. And like 2 or 3 hours later, I came back, saw the sink, and I was like, T would hate this. Because I remember once, I don't even know why I still remember, you said that like 2 or 3 years ago, that one of your pet peeves is people not cleaning the sink after doing the dishes. I was standing there and I was like, T would absolutely hate this.
Today I'm reminded that T hates me canonically.
I kid you not, that was just last week.
I leave sinks dirty. not disgusting dirty, but not like perfection.
It was such a random thought. T would hate this.
This would make T sad. I'm gonna clean it up right now. You're part of a problem, Jack. Yes, I know. I feel bad about it.
Happy New Year, T. Also, such a coincidence.
It is
How you
the
doing?
worst. I'm trying to be good. I'm
You're
trying.
very good.
I'm trying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dark Lord sees kind of a tarantula in the night. I can't unsee it as not a Mickey Mouse. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, wait, where do you see the tarantula? Where's the tarantula comment?
Dark Lord didn't describe it.
Tarantula in the right.
Yeah, a little bit. Could be from the top, like from like isometric kind of like.
With 6 pulled legs.
Yeah, one. No, they can't see the mouse cursor anymore. This is one front leg. This is one, and like this. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I believe that Kingdom Hearts is light. I've never even finished the first one. Maybe we should stream it at some point if Tifa is willing.
We were actually thinking of streaming Kingdom Hearts once. But we just didn't get to it. Also, I put things away immediately. Now that is dedication.
That is dedication.
Yeah.
No, fuck that. It needs to dry.
If we're unlucky, it stands there for a few days.
Yeah. Then I just reuse it again, and this way I don't even need to waste the energy of putting it back and taking it out again. We smart. Who's going to clean the sink? You think the sink fairy is gonna come? Yes. The sink fairy is Tifa in this relationship.
That is very true, actually.
You do have big sink fairy energy. Tifa comes home and she's like, bippity boppity boop. And then the sink is clean.
There's never a coin for me in exchange in the sink.
I make you dinner like every single day. I bring you
True.
treats. I make you food. I make you tea.
Yeah, true. Most days you do cook dinner.
So now you also want money. I pay half of everything. What do you want? I've been haunting you for the last 4 weeks for you to tell me what you want for Christmas. You still haven't come up with something that I can gift you. So it's a coin you want. I will not support your addiction. No.
See, now I say something and he doesn't want to buy it for me. Wow. Wow.
Meanwhile, this village is full of murderers and people who have no regard for human life. It would be fine to believe that all the deaths up to 1982 would be the work of somebody in the village. It would be fine to believe that all the deaths that would occur were at the discretion of those who control the village. But that didn't explain what would happen in 1983. There was no way that the last death would fit in with anybody's plans. They had no regard for human life.
I think this is Rika.
They would use every means at their disposal to meet their goals. But their goals were at odds with the last death.
This is Rika.
That's why the last death was unrelated to them. But that last death would definitely, most likely, probably, without question, happen.
I like how you're ignoring me, but this was Rika.
What was Rika?
All of this was Rika.
Why would she kill herself?
There is nothing here that was said that makes sense for Akasaka to say it.
Yeah, I take it he's just repeating it. Probably, definitely, I dare say. The last death would be a merciful one.
And how does he know that?
A handkerchief or something being placed over their mouth, making them lose consciousness, never to wake up again. Exactly whose plan was that?
See, how does he know what the plan is? That's what I'm saying.
How would Rika say it like this? a handkerchief or something being placed over their mouth. Rika wouldn't talk.
Yeah, but your character saying all of this also doesn't make sense. It doesn't sound like Rika. I agree.
It also doesn't sound like Akasaka.
But he can't say any of this either.
Do you want me to read him again with a different voice?
No, I'm just trying
to... What are you trying to tell me?
For it to make sense who it is. But it's definitely not Akasaka. So it only can be Rika because she's talking about the deaths and we're adding in details.
I think it is Oyashiro-sama. At this point, I think it's Oyashiro-sama through the body of Rika.
Probably. I want to live happily. That's my only wish. Surrounded by my precious friends, spending our days enjoyably. Only that. I don't wish for anything more than that.
Rika-chan.
I don't want to die.
The girl, stoic as ever, let those last words slip in the end. While Oyashiro-sama is still trying to come out for her floorboards.
Is this a good moment to save?
I think the scene is almost over. Want to test my theory?
A few more minutes.
We also agreed at the beginning of the stream that starting now all streams would be longer.
This is already longer.
You're longer. Eventually we were discovered by some drunks. The girl, as well as I, were dragged back to the festivities. Everybody was completely drunk, so even when they saw my head completely wrapped in bandages, they wouldn't let me leave. Well, certainly if I was in a good enough condition to slip out of a hospital, it must not be that serious.
He didn't even slip out. He was told to leave. What do you mean slip out? You were told, you go out of the front door, go past this road until you come across a store.
Why did the pharmacist and the tobacco lady say exactly the same line?
Everyone says this is a dilly of a pickle in the 70s.
I don't.
It's like saying appeltje for the dorst. Sorry, apple for the thirst.
The girl was mingling with everybody, being pampered like a kitten. The expression was adorable, nothing like the one from just before, predicting her own death and whispering that she didn't want to die. Having said that, having a silly and lively conversation like this, it was hard to believe that these people were the core of an extremist resistance group. Even if it was a shell of its former self, it was a festival where people in the village gathered, so the 20-some odd folk here should have included some of the village executives and other important members. Among those, there was no doubt that there were members that were here at the Sonos... Who writes like this? Among those, there was no doubt that there were members that were at the Sonosaki Family Council in attendance. Meaning, even if we never met face to face before, there were people here who knew my identity. In a small village like this, they knew the faces of all the villagers that lived here. That's why, without even saying anything, it soon became obvious that I was an outsider. In case the bandages and the hospital gown don't give it away. But they actually seemed interested by that, asking me all sorts of questions about Tokyo. Drinking while musing on the faint relationship the city had with the villagers and empathizing with a rather meager environment. The confidential talks with the minister were finished, his grandson was in police custody, everything was over. I might not have to be put in another perilous situation. To me, they were only my adversaries because of my job. Outside of that, there was no reason I couldn't be friendly with them. What kind of bullshit logic is that? Hey, some of you are going to dismember somebody in a year from now. I can totally be friends with you.
Most of you are fine with kidnapping kids and killing people, stabbing them, and be their alibi, but we're gonna be good friends.
Yeah, what the fuck? What the actual fuck, Akasaka-san? The next time I visited this village, would it return to being a tranquil and beautiful place?
They ain't killing me, so YOLO. Yet. I mean, true, we're not on the roadmap for the next 5 years at least.
Yeah, we're good.
I think we're good, yeah.
I assume he thinks that the majority isn't even aware. But why would he think that? After all he's been told, after all he... Okay, Outside of the fact that he clearly has brain damage in this entire sequence, thinking all of this is normal behavior and happenstance, when he is back to his senses, the thing in the bus, the thing at the bus stop, the fact that they knew everything that has happened, nothing points to not everybody being in here, in this. Like,
with all of the stories, the roadblocks,
yeah.
It's been made extremely clear that the entire village is involved.
Wouldn't you, I'm asking this genuinely because I do not know, wouldn't you want people in police or public safety or whatever the division is called, wouldn't you want people who are naturally suspicious? Because Akasaka-san seems like the golden retriever of police officers. Like, oh, they're nice to me, I like these people. And that's it. No thought behind those eyes. Like, hey, just heads up, keep an eye on the outsider. Most of them just don't need that much more info.
Yeah, but if that
agree.
turns into, hey, just stab him while you're at it, that will also just be...
I see what you're saying, but I have a feeling that we already are past that point. There very much is the let's keep an eye on the outsider, but there's also the roadblocks. There is what happened in the bus. Everybody's giving him like death stares. Everyone is on edge because of a damn. There is plausible deniability, yes. I find no flaw in your argument, but if I was there, I wouldn't even be able to sleep at night. I would be so paranoid.
Same.
And Sayuishi is the suspicious one, he just doesn't let on.
I want to say in this
Yeah.
chapter, not yet. Or I haven't felt suspicious of him in this chapter.
Well, he doesn't have the reason yet, because the Watanagashi killings haven't happened.
True.
So far it's just lore, it's myth, it's story.
But to be fair, we now learned, which means technically, being the cop we are, Ooishi will know, like, hey, I've heard this 5-year plan about murders being taken place at this and this and this time. One of them we even know, like...
No, I mean, he's suspicious about others. Yeah, that's what I took from it. That's how I meant it. I assume they got orders, hey, so it doesn't matter anymore. All done, no reasons for hostilities. I would love if it's that simple. Like, I find
can you
comfort.
still be friends with knowing that in the back of your mind?
I wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. I would be able to, I could, I guess, play along with, haha, yes, thank you for the food and the drinks, yes, beautiful festival, come back next year. But the moment one of these people crosses me on a dark road, I would already have my hand on my weapon. After all that's happened, no.
Nothing that happens here makes me think,
I'm
gonna come back and have a relaxed walk with everyone again.
I'll come here with my wife and kid.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my wife and kid here because it was such a nice place.
Tifa, if you ever take me sightseeing in a murderer village like Hinamizawa, fuck you. Just preemptively. Rika is accompanying him, yes, but at the same time, he is outnumbered 20-something to 1.
Plus, Rika just gave us a whole murder plan for the next 5 years.
Yeah. If Rika suddenly goes Higurashi eyes and then all of the others go like zombie mode, like must kill, I wouldn't be shocked.
Nah, none of this makes sense.
If that happened, I might be able to take a relaxed walk around the village with her again. My cup was once again filled to the brim with beer. Also, another great thing to do after you've been shot, you've sustained multiple injuries, just keep drinking. By the time I was able to get away, it was the middle of the night. The girl had at some point disappeared. It seems that her parents had told her to go home and sleep when she let out a large yawn. Now was your one moment to yawn. The old folks who had absolutely no remorse for making an injured person hang out with them told me as much as they laughed. I was just here drinking, so I had thought to help a bit with the cleanup. However, my help was refused on the grounds that I was a guest. Again, he is bandaged up in a hospital gown. I want to read the manga after this so bad. I want to see if they actually kept him in the outfit, like nothing makes sense. On top of that, they had a car prepared to take me back to the hospital. The Losing the battle against my sleepiness inside the car, I was sound asleep until we reached the parking lot of the hospital. The front door of the hospital was naturally locked at this hour. I wandered around bewilderedly, searching for a back entrance until somebody on night duty found out and let me inside.
Not suspicious at all. Where were you this late at night? Dr. Irie was worried, you know.
Nobody looked for him! Nobody! Sorry for the trouble. I was held up by the people having a festival at the shrine.
Oh, they did something about everybody in the town council getting together for a drink. My condolences. Are your wounds alright?
They're throbbing a bit. It's probably because of the alcohol, I think.
Oh, that's right. The detective that was with you wanted to get in touch.
Oops. I kept ooishi-san waiting. Yeah, like a dick.
There has to be a good explanation for this besides brain damage, because everything from the hospital on until now just feels like bad writing to me.
It seems very weird, yeah. Like, it seems out of place.
This just feels off, bad.
This part doesn't happen in the manga. Why? I glanced at the clock. No matter how you looked at it, it was way too late to call him now. I'll apologize to him tomorrow over the phone. Yes, and your wife, you fuck! I returned back to my hospital room and slipped into the bed, which was still unmade from the time I went outside. Oh, that's no good. I have to turn off the lights. But my weariness had cut the cord, powering my body, lulling me into a deep sleep. Told you. Without context, that's a nice shot. A Mother's Diary, a Mother's Diary 2, a Mother's Diary 3. Next time.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, has to be some explanation that will come.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, so I'm assuming one more chapter?
Based on the Steam achievements, there is one more. I would assume there's one more chapter after this, because one achievement is the usual, read all the tips. The other is also the usual, enjoyed the after party, and then the last one is story related.
Yeah, I would also think one more chapter to wrap it up.
This chapter didn't make sense. This very much felt like a fever dream.
Well, the most important thing I think we learned here is Rika knowing all of this.
Okay, hear me out. On one hand, I want to agree that... What do we know about Chapter 4? We know that Chapter 4 wasn't originally planned like this. Because at the end of Chapter 3, they announced what would later be Chapter 5. Right?
Mm.
So Chapter 4 was pushed in between for some reason. I'm guessing to make the story more clear, to make you follow a certain path of thinking or something like that. And it establishes things about Hinamizawa from before the events of chapters 1 to 3 happen. Now, up until Akasaka got shot, I would have thought, okay, yeah, this just shows you more of the background story of the Sonozaki family doing all of these things, the power dynamics between the different families. I didn't need that, but it makes sense. But then we had chapter 5. And on one hand, I want to say this chapter specifically exists to lead you down a certain way of thinking. Because of the whole, everything in my body and soul told me this would be important, I should be listening to this. And I think it's like a feint, like a fake out. That line wasn't for what was to come, as in Rika listing all the deaths accurately. but it was about the line before that, the one where we started arguing. If you want to erase the specter of death. I really think it's about that. At least that's the impact this chapter had on me. What I have a real hard time coping with at this point is the fact that from an outside perspective, this chapter completely doesn't make sense to a sane person.
In what regard though?
I've said this during Silent Hill 2. No spoilers, we're not going to discuss spoilers for Silent Hill 2. But I remember us all arguing, talking about why the main character in Silent Hill 2 is doing the things he's doing. And I said very early on, I would be doing the same things. A lot of them don't make sense, but I would be doing the same things. In this chapter, no. I do understand the feeling of no matter what happens now, I need to talk to my significant other. I've had that feeling with you so many times. I would be trying to get home faster. I would try to reach out to you. I would take a break to send you a message. Something like this. I completely get, I fully, in my core, understand the feeling of I want to reach out to somebody and that's what I'm gonna do. Right now. That doesn't matter how. I need to do it right now. I have to do it right now. But Akasaka is allegedly a trained public safety officer, right?
But still green.
Still so much of a pussy that he is too scared to show feelings on a phone call to his pregnant wife about to give birth in front of others. The 70s were a different time. Masculinity is an issue here, I guess. So he leaves the room, goes to the receptionist, who's a pharmacist apparently, something like that. Hey, this phone is cut off. This person says a particular line. Oh, we're the dilly of a pickle. He then gets instructions on how to get to another phone. He goes there. He
also
walks.
The hospital staff just telling him to leave.
Yes, specifically pushing him a certain way. So he does that. When he goes to that phone has also been vandalized. He talks to the person working there at the tobacco store. That person, again, isn't weirded out by the fact that he's bandaged up in a hospital gown, like an escapee. This person says the same freaking line. No, we're in a bit of a dilly of a pickle. She sends him further on this Schnitzeljagd, as we say in German, like an Easter egg hunt. Yeah, where you get a clue and then you go find another clue. Then he runs all the way into Hinamizawa to find Rika standing there after that phone has also been destroyed. I meant it when I said it. If that happens to me, I wake up, I'm dazed. Actually, I've been in this situation before. I've been in this exact situation before. 2018, I had a cancer scare. I had stomach aches for a few weeks. I went to my doctor. I told him, hey, my mother was around my age when she was diagnosed with stomach cancer and my stomach feels weird. I don't know if it's me thinking that or if I actually have something, but I haven't had this kind of pain before. It's not going away. Can we check this out? He got on the phone. The next 2 days later, I had an appointment to get a Magenspiegelung, the thing where they put an endoscope in your stomach and they check around. Came back clean, but they sedated me, gave me an injection so I would just pass out and sleep through it. I woke up and I was in this weird state where I was like, because I was also afraid of being put under, never had that done to me. I was afraid of having an allergic reaction to these things because I watched too much TV. I was worried they would find something. So I woke up in the state of terror. I woke up, first of all, happy I woke up, but then I don't know yet. I grabbed my phone and I sent Tifa the most typoed, basically drunk text like, oh my god, I woke up, I love you so much, I want to live. Stuff like this. So I'm saying, I get that. I get that I need to talk to my wife.
Yeah, but then it's like, oh, you go like, oh, I need to send a message to Tifa. And I'm go like, okay, here's a phone. Or you run across the street,
exactly.
turn left, turn right, go straight at the first roundabout, and there you can send her a message too.
But I'm just some guy. I'm just a regular person. With katana money, but still. Back then, my parents bought it. I get to the first phone, it's vandalized. I get to the second phone, it's vandalized. I get to the third phone, it's vandalized as well. And then this weird kid shows up talking weird. I'm gonna punt her into space.
The only thing that for at the moment explains why he did this is because they had to have a reason for him to be out, meet Rika, have this conversation with her, and for him to be there at the Watanagashi.
No.
That's the only thing I can imagine.
No, I can logically explain this. I can very logically explain this. This guy has a concussion.
Nah, at this point, no.
He has lost blood. Have you ever had a concussion?
Yes, I have.
How many? I've had 8. I was a very dumb kid.
The hospital staff leading you out makes no sense.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No.
Yes, it does.
Like I said, unless there's going to be an extra logical explanation.
I can tell you.
Right now, this is just bad writing to make a plot point happen.
No, I can tell you. Rika-chan told them to. Everybody in the village does whatever Rika tells them.
So they wanted, this had to happen.
Stop being mad. Stop being salty.
I'm not being mad, but you're not letting me finish, because this is exactly what I said. This was all set up to have these things happen.
Yes.
That's the only explanation there is, but it's still kind of stupid.
No, it's not. May I now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, follow me on this. Assume for a moment that indeed Rika is Oyashiro-sama reborn. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
And we notice this whenever Rika is being Rika, she's all like me and Nipa, and she's all cute and stuff. But when Oyashiro-sama takes over, she gets the I will die in June 1986, maybe on this day, that. Mm-hmm. When he says the girl, her face changed, her expression changed, that's not Rika.
Yes, that's what he already said as well. I'm talking to that girl now.
Okay, so everybody, the village elders know about the lore. They know the 7th generation firstborn Furude is Oyashiro-sama, right?
Yes, that's why she...
Okay. If Rika-chan tells one of the people who live in the lore of Hinamizawa, that, the old folks, if she tells one of them, take out a knife and slit your own throat, what do you think is gonna happen?
Yeah, I don't disagree. But I don't like the way they set this up. It doesn't change that.
What I don't like about it is that Akasaka at no point had a rational thought during all of this. At no point did Akasaka go, no.
This is suspicious.
Stop. This is suspicious.
They're coming after my life. I know that they might come after my life, but this is not weird at all.
And like I said, I understand this feeling of I need to talk to my wife. I get that at the bottom of my heart. But I would hope that, hopefully, the people that work in the police and public safety, they pick people who are rational, who are logically inclined, who would go, I understand my human emotional need to talk to my significant other right now, and I understand my desire, my need, my want to run all the way to the next village over to place a phone call. But the receptionist said a line, the tobacco lady said the same thing. That's weird.
That he missed that is fine with me. It's just a saying that he heard.
3 phones have now been broken. There's a weird girl. Why? Why did you not go with your Ishi? Why, after receptionist guy told you, yeah, it's over there, why didn't you go back to Ishi, tell him, hey,
I need a ride.
Thank you for everything. Before we do anything, I need you to give me a ride. Here's the money back from my pocket. Here's the money back. Give me a ride right now. I need a working phone. No, nothing.
I look forward to the next chapter. Maybe that is going to explain what happened here. But for now, I didn't like the end. Or this end bit of the chapter.
America recovers a scavenger. Thank you. That's a better translation for Schnitzeljagd. I understand your complaints, but Ryukishi isn't Uchikoshi, trust me. Yeah, I have the same feeling.
I believe it, but right now it's just annoying and frustrating.
No plausible explanation how he met Rika, but it's a spoiler for now. Write that down as questions for later in the end. I actually will.
I think you threw them at the bottom. There was a list already.
No. Not in the file I'm looking at. Dilly of a pickle. How did Akasaka not get suspicious in chapter 4? Also, excuse me, 8. Yes, I was a really dumb kid. My very first concussion I got, I was going shopping with my mom. She wanted to go shopping, and we walked from where we lived down to the supermarket, and I was talking to her about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on NES, the very first game, the indefinitely hard one. Basically Dark Souls times a million, but on NES. You ever played that one? Everybody that's played it knows A, it's bullshit hard, and B, that damn level, funnily enough. But in the game, very early on, you have 2 boss fights with Bebop and Rocksteady. You don't like the turtles?
I've didn't play the game. So how am I supposed to know what a B-Rock is?
Bebop and Rocksteady. The Warthog and the Rhino that work for Shredder.
I don't know the names.
You disgust me.
I don't even know the names of all the Ninja Turtles. Michelangelo.
Who's the leader?
Dot. The rat.
Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, Donatello, and Master Splinter.
I've heard them before, I just don't remember.
I want to tell the story, but now I need to add to the command. Because Tifa hates the turtles.
Tifa is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Yes!
Their hands always creep me out, to be fair.
Only you would look at them and go like, the hands.
Well, some things are just... Oh, they just stick with you.
Does machines do. Yes, I can hear the song. Anyway, I was talking to my mom about the game, and I was getting like all hyped up because I was like 4 or something. I don't know. And I was showing her how Rocksteady, the Rhino, how he runs in the game. He tilts his head forward, and then he runs really fast. So I tilt my head forward, and I run. Over here in Germany, outside of like residential areas, we have those big metal boxes where the electricians go to, because usually the electric lines are run underground here. So you need a place to like switches and stuff. And I ran flat head first into the energy box. That was the first one.
Rip.
Yeah. Once I've been tackled by a guy running to the bus. He ran, saw me, and just pushed me. I remember flying back and hitting my head. And I don't recall. I only recall 3. I don't recall the other to make up the 8.
Around here they paint electrical boxes to have pretty patterns. I think they do that everywhere, yeah? They do that sometimes here as well.
When was the most recent?
I'm not sure if that's something done by the company or just random people, because I think it's just random people doing that themselves.
That I do not know.
And when was your last concussion?
Most recent one was when I was like 10 or so. Thankfully not in the last couple years. And with this, Tifa hates a lot of things like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heating, plushies, caterpillars, some colors, fun, at least half of things Jack loves, tomatoes, hedgehogs, sushi, every single member of the X-Men, soup, all rap music, Dr. Dre, Skinner, Magneto's outfit, pina coladas, Dr. Pepper. Anything to say in your defense?
I will not say anything anymore about this list. It's factually incorrect.
It's not a book though.
At this rate, it's going to be a book.
Wow. It's gonna be Tifa, Tifa 2, Tifa 3. I can keep going infinitely.
I have nothing to say. Like I said, a few things are correct. Like fun. Half the things Jack loves.
I'm looking forward to the end of Higurashi. When all the jigsaw puzzle pieces have been placed and organized, and the big picture will hopefully come into view.
I have no hopes until the end of the year.
Wow. Thankfully, I am literally hard-headed. I once fell off a wall face first when I was 7. No concussion, just a fat scab on my forehead. Lucky you. I'm pretty sure it left no marks on me. I don't know if it did.
Somehow I feel like as a kid you get it less. Or should get it less for some reason.
What do you mean?
Like you fall around, you hit things, you don't break anything. But the moment you repeat it as an adult, you break shit. Things hurt. You get concussions, which you do somehow the other way around.
To speak with elders of a gentle race, of those so seldom seen, that talk for days in which they sit and wait for all to be revealed. That sounded deep.
Very poetic.
I don't know if you just came up with that or if it's a quote. Either way, deep. I like it.
You know what's also deep?
Our bed.
Yeah, how did you know?
You gave me tired and about to press the end stream button because she also put away the little octopus plushie she was playing with.
Yeah, that was indeed the hint.
I can read you like a book, except all books are factually inaccurate.
Yeah.
Tifa, do you have any more nuggets of wisdom to disperse? Still haven't come up with another line.
So we don't need that line.
I have one last one. Skinner was about 14 riding his bike, doing the whole bottle in the brakes things to make it sound like a motorbike. Okay, never heard of that, but I'll take it.
Yeah, you also have like these clips that you can put in between. So it goes like when you cycle, like something like that.
When your bike gets really loud.
Something like that.
I hate people that do that. I was going down a steep hill and a car was coming, forgot the bottle was there and pressed the brakes, flew through the air, spun, face planted the road. Not a scratch inside. I'm beginning to understand why you believe you are like Superman or something, like a superhuman being. How did you not get even a scratch? Like, I'm jealous. I am jealous.
That's very lucky.
Look, Tifa, I got a scar.
Oh, that's very cool.
From where I cut myself. The world spun around me. Understandable.
Oh, that would be kind of a cool shot.
I
Where
think...
you basically stand still and the world just goes.
Yeah, I remember, I forgot which movie, but some movie did that, where like the character had an accident and like got thrown around, but instead of showing the character being like roughed and tumbled, you could, like the world spun around him. I forgot which one it was. Reminds me of Unbreakable with Bruce Willis. Skinner, when you touch water, do you get weaker? You might be Bruce Willis. Don't know what you want to do with that, but try to pretend to sleepwalk so I wouldn't have to go to a lackluster daycare.
Oh no, hit my head on a
Smart
wooden chair.
kid.
I had to get stitches.
No.
Oh.
At Home Depot, I've dropped a lawnmower handle and a large deck chair on my face. Oh!
On purpose to avoid daycare or...
I think if you work at Home Depot, you're at an age bracket where you don't need to go to daycare anymore. I would think. I don't know. Oof. Much oof.
That does sound painful. Oh, because the other guy was bad at lifting. That was to avoid daycare again. Ugh. Makes my neck hurt for some reason.
Yeah. Somehow my eyebrows, like the part of the skull behind my eyebrows hurts because I imagine getting hit by a lawnmower handle like this. And I feel it.
Was fine, it did sting like hell. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
You know what also stings like hell? Tifa trying to end the stream, but all of us not letting her. But then again, she said all streams are going to be longer from this point onwards, so she just needs to deal with it. And she actually just pressed the button. Thank you everybody for higuring some rushes with us. Brain damage or no brain damage. We'll be back on Tuesday. We'll see you all then. Bye!